Well, cool transition. Solid, solid. No one ever thought that we would be in a transition so cool. Oh wait.
Your girlfriend showers you with love, right? She gives you nothing but love. She gives you tater tots, right?
Do we
Showing her
award
devotion
mediocrity,
to you.
Prime? Do we
But
do we
she is
award
showing your
mediocrity?
devotion to you, and then you insult her like this?
I don't know.
Like,
It's not an insult. It's just like,
it's
you
a
know,
child
Black
food.
American maid, you don't deserve her. You don't.
it's not an insult because like I wouldn't bring Paige tater tots. It's more along the lines of, you know,
Yeah, you don't love her
hey,
like that. No, I get
no,
it.
no, no. I
Like,
would bring her. I love her, so I would bring her something better. I would bring her fries with extra
no,
salt,
you
like
don't-
she likes.
You don't love her
Like an adult.
like that.
Yeah, like an
right?
adult.
Like,
Yeah,
no,
she would be like,
that's
tater
amazing.
tots. The fuck's going on with you? Like,
I eat tater tots all the time.
and
All the
again,
time.
Prime. That does
Yeah.
not surprise me. It does not surprise me at all that you're a tater tots guy.
Yeah, that a person of my refinement would
Don't get me wrong. Chili cheese
on
tots
that level.
is a different thing. Like chili cheese tots work, but
You know, I've
just-
never had that, but that
Well,
sounds delicious. Chili
It is.
cheese
Terrible.
tots?
Yeah, you get. I don't know if Sonic is
Adulterating them.
national. No,
No, no. You know what I recently just
Adulterating
did?
the tater tots. Wow, man, you just like in every way, Bab. It's like we are opposites.
like look at this. Does this look like something that a grown man should be eating? I just
Yeah.
don't.
Ah.
I
I
mean,
don't
it's,
know.
Put it in your
It's
mouth
really
and
funny.
savor it.
It's really funny because just recently, Paige and I made a snack for Paige and I, and it actually ended up being our dinner because it was so big. I put Grippos on one side of the plate, and then I put Doritos on the other side of the plate, nacho cheese Doritos, and then I took chili and I poured it on top, and then I took cheese and put that on top, and it was delicious. We killed that. We killed the entire can of chili in like one evening. It was great. It was a great time.
I'm into most forms of potatoes, but I don't know. Tots just are.
They're
a little
boring.
disrespectful. Yeah, they are.
You said
They're
boring?
really boring. Yeah, they're boring. What the fuck is a tater tot? To be completely honest, what the hell is that?
Amazing.
A little mop of a potato?
A little bit of in your fucking mouth is what it is.
It's
Like,
easy.
honestly.
Oh
A
shit.
tater tot is like a hash brown, but in a cube, a sphere size.
It's
Yeah,
not even a cube.
I'm
It's
not
a
in the hash brown
cylinder.
either. I'm
It's
be
not a
honest.
cube. It's a cylinder. What kind of dice are you playing with?
Sure,
Like-
sure. Cylinder. My bad.
I don't
Big
like.
difference.
I was about to say, just adding to that, I don't like hash browns either. But it's not because they're hash browns. It's like I don't think
I'm not a hash
potatoes are
brown person
breakfast
either.
food. I don't want potatoes for breakfast.
You guys are the worst.
We have
You don't
so
have
many
to-
other
you don't
things
have
we
to-
can eat.
potatoes are-
We have so many other things we can eat now. We don't have famine anymore. We can
Right.
eat more than
It's
potatoes.
literally the greatest, most versatile food there is.
I love
it's
potatoes.
literally it. You can do anything with potatoes, right?
I can do anything with pizza.
Including
Huh?
I can do anything with pizza.
You cannot do anything with pizza, but you can
Yes,
do
I can.
anything with well, look, I mean, if you can start, look, if you're
Pizza's
talking about
not an
eating your butt,
ingredient,
then
that's a
yes, I guess
final
you can have
product.
that. But like
Potatoes
I'm
is an
talking
ingredient.
about,
You can still do anything with it.
the level of culinary perfection that is potatoes, right? And it comes in one of the forms, one of its highest forms. Yes, is indeed tater tots. Like it's
It just sounds like a word that babies are supposed to say. Tater tots.
Yeah,
call it
yeah.
what you
And
want.
that's-
Unless
and
I
that's-
agree with Bam on something.
And that's the beauty in it.
Call it a
And
mouth
that's the
orgasm
beauty in
if
it.
you want. That makes more sense. No, I'll call it that too.
Wait,
But like,
hold on. Are you talking about lemon pepper tater tots or regular tater tots?
Regular. We're talking
You're
about
talking about
standard.
regular. This is ridiculous.
lemon.
Like, stop.
What's a lemon pepper? What's that?
You can season
Lemon
whatever you
pepper,
want. though.
lemon pepper tater tots. I've never heard of that.
I put lemon pepper on
man,
anything.
Y'all niggas
It
ain't
just-
living. What are y'all doing?
You gotta season your potatoes. That's why y'all don't like them.
I'm eating chili cheese Doritos and Grippos. That's what I'm eating. That was some good shit. I'm probably have that without her here. Probably have that because she decided she was gonna go to Florida with her mom. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna have one of our favorite snacks without her, and send her a Snapchat.
Yo, Eli, can we make a truce real quick?
Bruce.
You're
About
not
what?
doing no bad. You're not doing no bad takes today, right?
Oh no, this is my this is my expertise. I love how we already coming out the gate with shots, but like these kind of topics are things that I consider myself
Which one?
decently versed in. Both.
Which one?
Both.
Jesus Christ, I can only imagine.
I talked about, or at least I've talked about these things quite a bit, and I feel comfortable talking about them.
Cool.
We go
We'll
look at-
see.
Let me
I
go
don't know.
look at Prime's chat. See
The
what's
only
happening.
other thing, but yeah, like legitimately, what is y'all's like? What is y'all's
I can only imagine.
breakfast of
talked
champions?
about-
Not your
or at
go-to,
least I've
because
talked
maybe
about these
people ain't
things
healthy,
quite
people ain't
a
eating
bit,
like
and
they
I feel
supposed to. But
comfortable
what is like, oh man, I
Scrambled
got
eggs.
time today.
Cool.
I'm
We
finna,
go
We'll
look
see.
at-
I'm finna
eggs.
give me a nice
Look at
breakfast.
Prime's chat.
Scrambled eggs.
See what's
The only
happening.
other thing, but yeah,
was
like
it
legitimately,
just
what is
eggs?
y'all
Is y'all
like?
like
What is y'all
from
Disney
cheese
Channel movie?
grits?
Breakfast of
Scrambled
Champions,
eggs,
not your go-to,
bacon,
because
and you
maybe
got,
people ain't healthy,
orange
people ain't
juice,
eating like they
and
supposed to.
you
But
know,
what is like,
pancakes
oh
or
man, I got
waffles,
time
depending
today,
what I
I'm
got.
finna-
Ooh, waffles. I love
sound
a
like a
good,
good idea. You
fat
didn't mention
Belgian
potatoes.
waffle.
I like waffles over pancakes, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
waffles
get a
over
little more
pancakes.
crisp.
100%. 100%. Waffles
I
over
agree.
pancakes.
Wait, unless you doing like IHOP and they got like special pancakes, right? Like,
Okay, well,
I
IHOP
got
is like
Belgian waffles.
IHOP is like different. Yeah, IHOP
I
is
mean, they
one
don't got
Belgian
waffles at
waffle.
IHOP, so if you go to IHOP, like, obviously the only thing you got.
Yeah, they have
No,
waffles at
they got
IHOP.
waffles.
You can get a
Swear.
Belgian waffle.
You can
Yeah,
get a
you
Belgian
can get a
waffle?
Belgian waffle.
for sure.
Oh,
Yeah, 100%. You can get a Belgian waffle. But I usually get like I love their cereal pancakes. I think that my favorite one was the cinnamon toast crunch, not cinnamon toast crunch, the Captain Crunch one, because Captain Crunch is my favorite cereal. That is my.
Monty,
really
we was together,
top tier.
and then you just went
That's
down
so
to like a
low.
7-year-old.
I
So
know
my-
you're
Hey,
not
wait,
disrespecting.
What's your
Cinnamon Toast
favorite? What's your favorite
I know you're
cereal?
not.
Amazing. Yeah.
No, actually, I'll eat
What?
Frosted Flakes. I'm
Apple Jacks.
Oh,
So
Anyway, man.
They
Yeah,
don't
Cinnamon
go.
Toast Crunch is my
Frosted
favorite.
Flakes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a cinnamon toast crunch box downstairs, and I never eat cereal.
Yeah, there's no way. You got
wait, you out here eating Frosted Flakes? What are you, 60? Like,
Whoa,
who
no,
the hell?
no.
Who the
No, that's-
hell
Hold on,
eats
hold on,
Frosted
stop,
Flakes?
stop.
What's this mess?
Eli,
I'm sorry,
what is
what?
going on?
Who is taking shots at the
eat-
tiger?
Y'all
Yo,
eat Frosted Flakes, my
Y'all
God?
know-
It's
That's
a
a good one, though.
classic.
Yo,
It's a classic.
yo. When you mention Tony, right? Put some respect in your mouth. All right.
Right.
Like, what the fuck?
I didn't say we're bad. I'm
Right,
just saying,
Brian.
like, I haven't had
Niggas
Frosted
right.
Flakes years.
Sorry,
Because I'm not an old person.
I'm really sorry for you. What are you talking about, bro? Little small people. And,
I grew up
young people eat
insanely
that too.
poor, bro.
What?
Frosted Flakes is a staple.
Thank
I don't
you,
know
bro.
what I'm talking about.
You must have been
You know what you
privileged.
could have eaten? You know what you could have eaten instead of Frosted Flakes? You could have had Honey Nut Cheerios. You can't go wrong with a bowl.
No,
of
You're
Honey
telling.
Nut
Hold on, hold on.
You
stop,
called
stop,
us,
stop.
Grandma.
That's where you gotta
You put
go.
on everything.
That's where you gotta
Cheerios.
go.
Oh, like Honey Nut Cheerios?
No, you're saying Honey Nut Cheerios over
Frosted Flakes?
Yeah, you're
Yeah, every day.
bugging.
Every day.
Yeah,
I would
you're
have
on.
Honey Nut Cheerios
Hey,
over
isn't it
Frosted
you
Flakes.
know-
Every
Nobody
day.
agrees with that. Nobody in the world.
Yeah, you
Gotta
think
watch my cholesterol. See, I'm watching my cholesterol.
And
Y'all can have y'all Frosted
old
Flakes.
people.
Yeah, you
You
talking about old people.
people, but you're the one taking the Honey Nut Cheerio, the cereal for a better heart cereal.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Hey, listen, health is health.
That's
You know, it
just
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how old you
Health
are.
is health.
Health is health. Don't matter how old you are. You know what I mean?
On t-shirt.
Ain't never too young to start, paying attention to your heart.
I
you
gotta
know what I mean?
apologize to my audience. Clearly, I need a better a group of guests here, right? Like
Group. There's only
made
one
some
person
mistakes.
saying some outlandish things.
Well,
There's some
well,
degeneracy
But
going on.
I,
taste aside, I wonder what cereal has the best commercial though. What do you think?
What's the No, it's the
No,
little
not
the
the
rabbit.
Trix. No.
You
Yeah,
know what
Trix.
makes me
Yeah, the
sad?
Apple
Like,
Jacks.
I honestly get like
Apple
bummed
Jacks,
out
yeah.
watching the Trix cereal, right? Because like let them have some tricks. Like why you guys gotta be so fucking mean to them? Like Trix Rabbit,
You remember that episode of Atlanta?
like that? Like it hurt my soul. Like just give him a fucking bowl.
One of these days, the rabbit gonna come strapped.
Yeah, right.
Today,
That's what Family Guy
today
did.
is the day.
Wait, have none of y'all see? Did none of y'all watch Atlanta? Do y'all not remember the
I watched
episode
it.
that was dealing with that? And he was
I
like,
watched
like the cop ended up like arresting, like it was they had a wolf, but it was the same thing. It was like the kids was like, it's just cereal. We were just playing. And they was like, no, you know the rules. Like stop resisting. It was a dark scene. And it was like, bro, just chill. It's cereal. He's like, I'm a wolf. They don't let me buy groceries. I'm just hungry.
What's that one that eat themselves?
The
That's a good commercial. That's a good commercial.
You know what I used to really like? I haven't seen it in a while. I haven't seen anybody talk about it in a while. Honeycomb. Honeycomb used to be real good.
Honeycomb was good. They used to mess up the top of your mouth.
I forgot about this, guys.
Dude,
But
that's
the goat cereal was discontinued. It was Lego My Eggo cereal.
Oh yeah, I remember
yeah,
My
that.
Eggo cereal.
What?
I never had that.
They had
Never had
waffle cereal, and I mean waffle was.
If most of the panel hasn't heard about it, it's not true. It's the GOAT.
No, I remember it.
No.
I remember.
Actually, you know what?
just
I take it
never
back.
bought
I take back everything
No,
I
I'm
said.
telling
My favorite cereal is s'more cereal. Okay, I have to
S'mores.
stop myself.
You just get
from eating the
worse.
entire
Look,
box.
here's what I'm gonna tell y'all. Look,
Yeah, I have to stop myself.
I haven't weighed in on this topic very much, but just so you guys know, I do actually have like an old school viral video, not viral, but I mean, it was doing numbers back in the day just on cereal because I'm a grown man that don't cook. So because of that, I mean, what I had to eat was cereal. So we went through like streams and streams on Twitch years ago, in which we're trying all of these like specifically rare and random cereals, trying them with specific types of milk and all this nonsense. I'm telling you right now, there is a cereal that you guys have never heard of, or most of y'all ain't heard of, called Blueberry Muffin Tops, and I promise you, it's 10 out of 10. It's absolutely ridiculous. It has the same exact texture as Cinnamon Toast Crunch, but it has blueberry pieces on it that are literally perfect. I promise you, it'll slap all the rest of these cereals.
That sounds so good.
I don't like blueberry stuff.
So we sitting in front of like a connoisseur.
Nigga, I'm dead serious. And I don't know if y'all know this, but you can go to post.com, I believe it is, and they have specific cereals that are particularly rare, and they'll tell you what stores in your region have them. So to get Blueberry Muffin Tops, it was only the Walgreens on the west side of town that actually had it. So I was able to go there and get it. They don't even give
This
it to
MF
me.
know the quadrant. He know all the the zip code, all kind of
Nigga, I
shit.
know my
I can
cereal.
only find it.
That's
I'm
why
on the
I need a
hunt
wife.
for cereal, mate. You can only find this kind of cereal.
100%. That's why I need a wife.
I know. he's
At least none of y'all said oatmeal. I'm proud nobody here said oatmeal. Then I'd have
Not
to leave.
cereal.
No, we're waiting for that
That's
to
not
come out of your
cereal.
mouth. Like,
Oh, we were talking about breakfast
Pebbles.
champions,
I guess that's
and
hot
I
Pebbles,
talked about
yeah.
cereal.
I
Fruity
think
Pebbles is dope.
okay,
Fruity
no.
Pebbles? Ugh.
Fruity Pebbles is only okay dry because it gets it's like soggy instantly, right? I'm not wrong about that.
Nah,
Like,
you're wrong.
the-
Wait,
the-
hold on.
I think I
Hold
agree.
on, wait, nigga, please don't. Hold on, wait. Do you put the milk in first or last?
No, last.
Last?
Are you a psychopath?
Does anybody put milk first?
Damn it.
Who puts
No,
milk
milk.
first?
I was wondering.
Why would you put milk first? When you're pouring the cereal in, the milk's gonna like splash.
Hold
and take
on,
over
what about
everything.
hold on, stop. What about seconds?
No.
Because when I have milk
seconds
left
is
over, I put
Yeah,
milk.
I'm
I
having
put
seconds.
That's second.
Yeah,
That's
but
second.
there's less milk in the
Drinking
bowl, so
milk
you're less
is
likely to
disgusting.
like.
Okay, hon.
Drinking milk is disgusting? Yes.
Eli,
Yes, it is true.
Eli, are you saying
Wait,
that
wait.
you pour the
Not
milk
flavored
in
milk.
first?
No, I pour the cereal in first, then I pour the milk, and then once there's milk left over, I pour the cereal in
Yes.
on top of that as well,
Yeah.
because there's less milk to splash around.
Jamal, you being suspiciously quiet here, right?
What?
He's
It's
the
cereal.
He's the oatmeal eater. He's
My-
the one MF in here that prefers oatmeal for breakfast.
Oatmeal?
Okay.
Is it milk
Wait,
first or?
first of
I
all,
don't
what's-
like, I don't like baseless
No.
accusations. Very white
There's,
woman of you.
one,
Eli.
there's nothing wrong with oatmeal. Second, I put the milk second. I put my cereal in there. I do the same thing. Cereal, milk, cereal. That's the only thing that makes sense.
Don't know how
Whenever
to-
Paige makes oatmeal, I contemplate calling off the wedding.
It is nothing
Listen,
wrong with oatmeal. You was
listen,
dragging
we
it.
can't.
There's literally nothing wrong with oatmeal.
I have maybe I have
Already?
PTSD with oatmeal because my dad would fix oatmeal for me and my brothers a lot.
Have y'all
and I hated it.
Have y'all ever done Oops All Berries?
Yes.
I
Yes.
haven't
It's-
tried it.
It's
Captain
Captain Crunch,
Yeah.
but the berries, but it's a box of only berries.
No.
Oh, I've
It's
heard of
ham.
Oh yeah.
It's ham. And then there's
yeah,
also
Captain
other
Crunch
things that you
berries
can do.
split.
Because, like, so for example, Honey Bunches of Oats is actually an OD cereal. So it's an adult cereal, but it's an OD cereal. But then there's
Overdose
a problem
cereal?
because there's not enough. The bunches to oats ratio is not enough. So what you end up doing is you buy yourself a box of Honey Bunches of OD, which is nothing but the little oats, whatever, and then you just add that to the box of your Honey Bunches of Oats, and so now you have a better ratio. You see what I'm saying? There's skills to this thing. Or another thing, for example, most people don't like frosted. Frosted
Mini Weeks.
Frosted Mini Wheats. But that's because it's a high skill cereal. Now, I know a lot of you think, oh, there's no skill to cereal, but there is a technique to making sure that you're manipulating the cereal so that the frosted side is the side that touches your tongue. Because if you don't do that right, then you're tasting cardboard, right? So it's a skill. You got to make sure that you know how to manipulate the cereal. All of these things, I'm telling you, cereal, it is amazing. It's amazing, and it's a meal, but you just got to know how to do it right. That's all.
I did not know this.
Oh,
Yeah, I
hey,
never took
okay.
those things into consideration.
This reminds me of the
nigga
time
playing
when I
ranked
taught
cereal.
Paige how to
Here's
make
where I
ramen the
lose
correct
crowd.
way.
Here's where I lose the crowd, right? I have sensitive teeth, right? I don't like cold. And like it's just the way it is. Right?
Don't say hot milk, nigga. Stop.
You're not your cereal.
I'm
You disgusting.
Don't do this. You can't come back from this.
I'm not
Brian.
doing this.
You can't come back from this. You can't come back. Did he leave?
We should stand in solidarity against
Nigga, no.
Disgusting black creature.
I've done that a few times, and I
He
can't
said
lie.
black nothing.
It tastes good. It tastes good. Y'all ever had a warm milk at night to make you go to sleep?
Stop it, y'all. Hey, y'all really gotta stop this. This is
No, I'm
just-
asking. It's
Not unless-
Black community back.
Not
We send the
unless-
black community back in real time.
Not unless I have chocolate chip cookies
They
or
not giving
Oreos.
niggas
No.
reparations right here. This is why we not getting reparations. Because y'all do shit like that.
Yeah, because of Prime. He's blocking
Yeah.
it. Oh my
Prime, that's
god.
disgusting.
You gonna give them niggas money? They can't even eat their cereal cold. Like, like we said them-
Listen, I think we should do reparations for everybody but Prime. That nigga,
True.
he
Prime, you alright, bro.
Gotta be on
Everybody
the- gotta
except
be
the
passed
nigga
on the
that
ballot.
eats warm, that drinks warm milk. Except him. He ain't getting shit.
Jesus.
Prime, you know, like, conservatives might see your channel. They're voting no. Like, they not giving niggas reparations with shit like this. You can't do this, Prime.
You
What
done
you-
fucked us, Prime.
You just making us
done
degenerates.
It's his fault.
Like,
Another generation setback.
Yeah, somebody
literally.
said
Like unreal in a single
And then it's gonna be-
stroke.
and then
In
they're
a
gonna be looking
single
at us.
stroke.
Instead of 1350, it's gonna be like, despite making up only 13% of the population, there is one motherfucker that drinks warm milk. Apparently, we can't do nothing with these black folk. We can't do nothing.
100.
That's where the violence comes from. That's where the violence comes from in the black community. Fix your own problems, black community.
Warm milk. He did it.
100% of warm milk drinkers are black, Prime. That's what you did, us. That's what you did. That's
You
what you
fucked us,
did,
Prime.
13100, nigga. That's what you did.
Prime, I believed in you. I believed in you.
I believed in you.
No, but with all seriousness, that is disgusting. Like, all jokes aside. All jokes aside.
Bam's like, all right, kid gloves off. Like, no, you nigga, you're gross. Like, you're disgusting.
Okay.
Just don't pasteurize it either, bro. Just go all in, dog.
Like, we'll drink
Do you
straight from
eat
the cow.
it curdled too? Do you drink it curdled too?
Does
Is that
anyone
what you
here?
do one of them?
I don't. So
Hold on, I'm scared. I'm
like,
scared
no,
to
I'm
let you ask
I'm
another
just
question.
I'm just asking you. Like, does anyone here actually enjoy skim milk?
I don't mind it. Yeah.
You're like low
Lactose
fat.
intolerant, so
No. Skim is different.
Yeah,
Milk.
0%.
1%, right?
No, 0%.
No,
Yeah.
what's skim milk? 0%?
It's fat-free.
Yeah, I guess. But yeah, like, so you like skim milk?
It's kind of watery, but I don't mind it.
Yeah, it's very. I've had it before. It's-
Just like pour water into your.
I just don't like. I
regular
don't like whole milk. I grew up on whole milk, and then now I'm like, I can't go back to it.
Yeah,
It's
I
like,
grew up on whole
You gotta
milk.
like chew it. Oat milk is thick,
Whoa,
bro.
whoa. Nah, that's your whole milk, nigga.
But
You're not supposed to drink milk when you can chew
The
it.
hyperbole.
Man, I think your fridge is broken.
bro, oat milk is thick. But like I said, I don't mind.
Eating rotten milk, bro, his whole life.
Oh man. Okay. Well,
He
all
kept going.
We've like learned a lot about each
Hey,
other.
Eagle,
I'll say
Eagle, leave
one-
this out, bro. Leave this out. Just let him know.
I'll say one last thing. So you guys were asking about like my number one breakfast. All right. So you gotta be an old school Prime fan to know this, right? But I've talked about this before on stream.
Batten down the hatches.
Every Thursday night into Friday morning. So tonight, right? When I go off stream, but like every Thursday night into Friday morning, I have like a ritual, specifically for when I am doing my most favorite thing, reading One Piece. So One Piece comes out, or at least
out now.
This ain't gonna be some weird shit like you can
The
only read One
pirated-
Piece while you eat macaroni and cheese
Oh
from
my
your
God.
bathtub or anything, is it?
Let me do it. Thank you. The pirated version comes out. Now I don't pirate it, but someone sent it to me and it appears in front of my eyes, and so I don't know.
Mhm.
But I certainly don't look for that. In any case,
He's right here.
Jesus Christ.
It just appears. Magic One Piece.
so what I do is I eat hash brown, right? And I'll eat a whole bunch of them. So like hash brown patties, I'll warm up 8 of those, right? 8 of those things, and then I'll make like an omelet, but with no cheese because I don't like cheese in my omelets, right? So it'll be an omelet of eggs, bacon, right? Turkey bacon. I use bacon, and I use sausage, right? So I cut up like bits of sausage,
Yeah.
mix them all in there, right? Usually that's 8 eggs, and put it all together. And then once the hash brown patties are done, I put like the eggs on each of the patties. And eat that way.
This is at night, like after the
This will be
stream.
as soon as I'm done with the stream.
Do you go to
So
sleep after this?
That's a lot of food.
I always eat when I always
8
eat before I
eggs?
go to bed.
8
8
eggs.
eggs?
8 hash browns.
Prime. I need to be real serious with you right now.
2
Okay,
bacon
I need you.
strips
I need you.
or,
When-
some sausage. sticks.
Cholesterol on food.
Whenever you do this, Prime, I need you the following morning to log what kind of dream you had and send it to me. I need to know what goes on after
Bro.
what this creates. I need
Yeah.
to know what spawns from this.
That's not healthy.
I need to know.
Don't do that.
Big ideas.
I mean, a good breakfast is never healthy.
Wait,
Yeah.
no, it's not breakfast. He doesn't go. He's like,
No.
he's staying up overnight before going to bed after stream and makes this at like 4 in the morning.
I
8 eggs.
have had my cholesterol checked, right?
Depends on like when he wakes
I-
up, when he goes to sleep, when he wakes up, etc. Really, I mean,
No, this is when I go to bed.
Yeah,
this is the last
like-
thing I do.
it depends on your sleep schedule and everything.
So in any case, like I get myself checked and I never have a problem. So and I've been eating. People say, "Oh, you shouldn't eat just before you go to bed." I've done that literally almost all my adult life into my teenage years. I've done just that, and
Wow.
you're fine.
Wait,
It's not a big deal.
wait. Personal question. How tall are you and how much do you weigh?
How tall
Kevin
I am?
Samuels?
Hey, that's a little, them's fighting words.
What?
Yeah, like
How is those fight?
What
I'm.
does that have to do with your diet?
I'm joking.
What?
I'm joking.
What? What is your what does your weight have to do with your diet?
Your diet?
This is
What?
weird, though,
I-
like, you
No,
Prime
I
is
mean, like,
6'1".
yeah, no.
I've never thought about how tall you might be.
Yeah, how are you,
I've
Prime?
always thought of Prime is 6'1". I don't know. Prime's always came out.
Nah, Prime is like 5.
Feel like
I'm
5'10". 5'10".
Let's bet.
Both intellectually and physically,
Uh-huh.
I tower above men.
Oh, that's a short answer.
Short answer.
That's the destiny. So Prime is 5'8".
Okay. I don't know. Well, like I said, you made me
Okay.
believe it. I thought
Sorry.
you was tall.
We
Yeah.
were waiting. The reason why let's go on for so long because we were waiting for someone and they just haven't shown up. So we're gonna have to keep it moving,
Are
unfortunately.
you talking about Top Dolphin? Didn't Top Dolphin say he
No,
was?
I'm not talking about top.
Oh, okay.
All right. All right. So we are going to continue on. We'll get started. Finally, that was fun. thank you all for being here. We are going to do the All Black Everything Roundtable, which we have Thursdays 8 p.m. Eastern. We have a fantastic group of guests here. Going to introduce them, but first, if you're watching us on YouTube, please like, comment, and subscribe because you'll become a YouTube member. Hitting that join button, supporting the channel that way. If you love having this content, if you enjoy all the things that we do for you, then be so kind, help us out and become a YouTube member. And hit that join button. Okay. We are going to start with. I start with the worst. So Eli Monty, thank you for coming through, for being a part of this. We're happy to have you around. Eli, how are you doing today?
I am fantastic. How is everybody doing? That's great. Anyways, yeah, my name is not Eli Monty. I am a leftist, and yeah, I'm also a huge nerd, as you can probably see from my office here. I stream usually Thursday through Sunday. So hop on over to twitch.tv/NotEliMonty, and that's also my name on basically any other platform you want to check out if you don't think I'm horrible. So.
Yep. Thank you so much. All right. Second worst up next. Bam. Don't worry. I haven't forgotten about you. Bam. Thank you for being here, buddy. Glad to have you around. Bam. How are you doing today?
Pretty good. It always feels special. Like as long as you hate me, that I know I'm doing something right. So, yeah. What's up, y'all? Bam. I'll be here all the time. Y'all know who I am, and this is gonna be another good conversation where I'm getting right as always.
I like the positive attitude.
And now, in no particular order, we have Jamali. Jamali, thanks for coming through, buddy. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me. I am streaming now on YouTube. I try to keep political stuff that I do now separate from my Twitch completely. So you guys can find me on YouTube at Jamali GG. And that's why I'll be doing a lot of this stuff. All of these things will be uploaded afterwards, including other topics that I talk about, usually Wednesday through Friday. So you can check us out there.
Thank you. D10 Dream is here with us again. Happy to have him. D10.
I'm great to be here. I feel so. It's been like 4 weeks, damn near, since I've been here, and I've been looking forward to this day again. The debates is always lit when it's out here, and once again, it's D10 Dream, feel me, and gonna give you the best takes that your life has ever heard.
All right. We got my man.
Wait, what did I do?
As you Gambit here with us again. I'm definitely happy to have Chiashu. I know you've been quite busy lately, but thank you for making time for us. Spending us in your very, very busy schedule.
Yeah, man, I'm happy. It's been quite a while since I've been here, and I didn't have a scheduling conflict this week, so I'm happy to be here, man. This is ABE. Ooh. Y'all already know I love this. Hopefully, it doesn't get too bad today. I'm sure that Eli is going to control himself, so it'll be fine. But yeah, this is going to be dope, man. I'm ready for it.
Wow.
I'm just playing, bro.
Yeah, I know. I'm just kidding.
Okay. All right. And last but not least, right? Making his triumphant return. We got, man. I call him Fanatic. You call him Mister. All right. Fanatic is back with us. Fanatic, thank you for being here, buddy.
Oh hell no.
This Super Mario World? Yeah.
Oh my God.
Nigga entered like Dio.
I wish I was on that level and I could make an intro like that. God damn. Fanatic, thank you for being here, man. We've missed you. The crowd has missed you. Everyone's missed you. How are you doing, buddy?
That was the intro. That was it. I'm doing
great.
Nice.
All right.
Enough said.
Okay, and hopefully we'll have one other person join us, but I don't know. We'll see. Okay, I'm moving forward. We'll start with this topic on request from my man Fanatic. Do you think there are any responsibilities within a hetero relationship that simply belong to a man? Would you be okay if a woman was the main provider for your family? if she was a more skilled fighter, would it be okay if she defended the family when there was trouble? Would you be fine with a woman proposing to you? If you are a woman, how do you feel about taking on these roles? And we had some women scheduled, but it didn't work out, fortunately. So up to you, men. Yeah. What do you feel about reversing gender roles? And I've got a few of these examples. So we'll start with Bam.
I think that like there's two ways this conversation can go. We can take the really boring route of saying some hypothetical truth, like hypothetically anyone in any relationship can do anything, which obviously is true to some degree. But in the world we live in, with the dynamics that exist, or not the dynamics, but with basically in reality, there are probably some things that a man in a heteronormative relationship should take up, like defending his family, like protecting his family. Not necessarily finances. I think anyone can have a job, but the concepts of chivalry, I don't think these things are bad for society. I don't think they should be dead as concepts. And it's okay to have pride in men being men. We shouldn't. It doesn't have to be all of masculinity isn't toxic, and there's things that men should be proud of and should seek to uphold.
Eli.
Yeah. So, I don't necessarily know if men necessarily there is something that we have to do in a relationship. I think in the way in which society is shifting now, we're kind of seeing that things that were traditionally done by men in relationships in many cases are now also done by women in relationships, including heteronormative relationships. Personally, if she's a better fighter than me, yeah, 100% defend the household. Because if she's a better fighter than me, then why am I defending? We gonna die. So yes, please, defend the household. I, at the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic, was a house husband because of the way in which my career was going. And I did not mind that one bit. Not saying that I necessarily want to go back to that, but I tend to view things from an equal perspective when it comes down to relationships. Whatever I can do, typically Paige can do as well, and vice versa. Of course, until you get down to maybe the physical things such as childbirth and stuff like that. Maybe obviously I can't do that. But yeah, I really don't see a problem with women taking charge. As a matter of fact, I have been asked out by multiple women, not necessarily proposed to. I did propose to my fiance, but I've been asked out throughout my life by multiple women, and I think it's hot when women take the initiative. So,
yes, you.
Yeah, Eli doesn't listen to enough Jordan Peterson. But no, I'm joking. But no, I think men should strive to be the provider. Given career paths or career opportunities, some people are going to be in a situation where their spouse makes more. I don't think there's a problem with that at all. I think that men, however, should be striving to try and make more. I think that men should try to be the lead in that type of thing. I think men should try to be the lead in defending the home. I would say even if you're dating a woman that seems to fight better, we know that there are physiological differences between men and women. So even if she fights better, there are situations where things can go really, really bad regardless. So it'd be weird to me to be looking at my spouse defending the home and I'm just sitting idly by. That seems mind-blowingly insane. But for the men that do that, they're probably in the cup. So, hit me up and, we can figure some stuff out. But would I be fine with a woman proposing? Probably not. That seems really cringe to me. That seems really, really cringe. But I do like what Eli did say, women taking initiative on certain things. That's cool, but proposing would be weird, and I would definitely probably catch the nearest flight away from me. So yeah.
Fanatic.
Whew. I'm glad this is the all-black panel, because then we get to really talk about some things, and y'all probably gonna hate my takes. But I think that there is this thing that has happened over time with society due to systemic oppression and things like that, in which we've kind of emasculated the black men, the society has emasculated black men, and we've kind of masculinized, or whatever that word is, Black women. And while we complain about like the way their images are portrayed or the way society perceives them, a lot of this kind of stuff is because of different things. Like not having a father in the home, a mother has to become a protector, and so on and so forth. Women have to become providers if there's not a father there, you know what I mean, to actually keep up his end of the bargain. And in some cases, I think Black men have failed their families, but in some cases, I think society has failed Black men, and so on and so forth. So me personally, I think I'm always going to strive towards making sure that I subscribe to traditional gender roles. I genuinely want to be the primary provider. I want to be the primary protector. I love the fact that my girlfriend should, or an eventual wife, should be able to rest in her femininity. And I think Black women in general should be able to do that. I think someone said something that was brilliant to me, that chivalry, it was a knight's code, and it didn't really necessarily have to do with women. Like, we should be deciding as men to be able to be responsible and taking care of these things. Some of these things were out of biological necessity, and a lot of that stuff has disappeared. But I still think that those codes and those societal implications are beneficial for children to be able to model after and things like that. So I think it's probably the best way. Not that nobody else can do anything different, but I just think it is the best way. So that's what I stand with.
Okay. Do you want to know?
I do think like most things, either man or woman can do. Like I think in a consensual relationship amongst adults, if you want to do something and you both agree to it, I don't think it should matter what anyone else thinks about it. As long as it makes you happy and it works out for you, that's all that matters. But I do think like if you want a family, obviously the woman has to give birth, and so that is a critical point in time where the man is obligated, has to, forced to, because there's no other choice, to be the sole provider. And that's where Gambit is, I agree with Gambit that men should be striving to be the, like to make a lot of money because of that instance, And I do think that both people should have jobs, because injuries could happen at any point. And so if I have an injury, my wife can take care of me. My wife, if I have an injury, I can take care of me. Because injuries, you never know what happens. And for me personally, I feel like it should be whoever makes the most money should be paying for most things. Like if I make the most money, which I am right now, currently in my relationship, I'm paying for everything right now. But as soon as my wife becomes my girlfriend becomes a doctor, she's gonna pay for everything. It's that simple. Yeah, so I would be okay if she was a main provider. If she was a more skilled fighter, it doesn't matter, because strength matters. So if she's more skilled, she's like a black belt in jiu-jitsu, it doesn't matter, because she could still be weak. But if she is stronger and more skilled, then sure, she should protect me, because I'm this frail ass dude by her. So yeah, there's some really skinny, frail dudes out there that's with big, strong women, and I don't see nothing wrong with that. I would have actually liked being proposed to. Like, I asked my girlfriend, what's wrong with proposing to me? She's just like, no, that's embarrassing. I'm like, why do you care about what other people think so much? Like, I don't like that. Like, I don't know why people care about what other people think. Like, if you love me just as much as I love you, what's wrong with you proposing to me like me proposing to you? Like, I even offered, let's propose to each other at the same time. Like, what's wrong with that? Yeah. There's nothing wrong with proposing to each other. Phil?
Jamali.
So I mean, I look at it in a way that life is sort of like if you were to pick a class, and you pick a class, and so you're gonna be more likely to be like proclivative to one particular stat, but you decide to take that and go another route with it. You could always be that min-maxer, obviously, and go something that leans into you, like maybe you're a rogue, so you be more sneaky, okay, instead of being the one that talks. And I think that there's obviously everyone has the option to either be the provider or not the provider. Everyone has the option in today's world to make money or be the one not making money, tending to the home. The gender normativity of it comes from an older world that was pretty much power dominates everything, is held by the people who have the most resources, strength, yada yada yada, all that stuff. That isn't necessarily that isn't as necessary as it is now. I don't think that having women be or femme people be in more, I guess, as we would put it, masculine situations, being the breadwinner, the provider for the family and stuff like that. The defending the family, I don't know. Everyone should be trying to defend the family. It shouldn't be on one person. Like, whether you can fight or you can't get a gun, I don't know. Like, we live in America. Fuck, like, it doesn't matter what your sex is when you're breaking down my door. If I point this at you, you will stop charging me. I think that proposing is sort of, who cares? I don't really necessarily agree with the institution of marriage as it is, but if you're gonna get married, it doesn't matter who's proposing. It's irrelevant. I think the greatest benefits to marriage is like financial gains. But other than that, like,
What?
that's pretty much, like, I don't see much of a point for marriage. There's legal on paper reasons why marriage would be important, like in terms of property handling and stuff like that. But other than that, I don't really see why else it would exist. I mean,
do you think that there's any stability? There's any more stability to be found in marriages than in non-marriage monogamous relationship?
I think that we have a society that's modeled in a way to lend to more support for married people. So I think that even in a case where we would have the ability to remove that support, whether or not a society or a culture that lends to more like community-based things and just necessarily being one with each other and not necessarily like married or hard set off into these nuclear families, we would probably see some level of, if not the same level of cohesion that we see with these sorts of families.
I agree with him because
I really do.
You shouldn't need to be in a marriage in order for you to like behave in a way that you would behave when you're married. Like,
Yeah.
I disagree entirely. I don't think why would I commit to that degree if I'm not saying that there's something that's guaranteeing that we're committed at that level? How do you distinguish between the dating stage where you're trying to figure something out and the commitment that typically is
I don't know. You communicate with them.
Because look, why would you get married to them if you're not already committed on that level already?
Yeah,
Wait,
it's like
hold on.
getting.
Fanatic, can I ask you something? Can I ask you something, Fanatic? What's the difference between what do you think defines a marriage? Let me ask that. What do you think defines a marriage?
I think, well, for religious people, it obviously is now like this long-term commitment before God that the intent is to end up being married.
Can I get a more agnostic answer?
I was going to answer both. So that one is up there, and then also for secular people, I think on top of all of the legal benefits, it is a formal declaration of a commitment towards being together and like taking the relationship to the next level, where there are greater expectations and things like that, which is why you'll see in certain relationships people can be together as a couple for sometimes 10, 15 years, but then when they get married, they get separated within 6 months or a year after 15 years of relationship, because with that marriage comes a greater expectation, and then those expectations like shine a light on the fact that you're actually beneath the bar of what I expected, and once I got married, I was expecting those things to happen, and they're not happening, and now I realize that we're not compatible. Does that make sense?
I'm sorry. I have a hard time believing that you can be with someone for 15 years and not have like your expectations completely either checked out or like for the most part like they're solid.
What?
Like you get married at 15 years and all of a sudden you find out that something about them is not acceptable. Like that's a little weird.
Right? Yeah.
No. I'm sorry.
Probably
Just to make
changed
sure.
after 15 years.
Let me try. Well, I mean, it's crazy to just say that they changed immediately after 15 years.
Yeah, because I'm married. I'm gonna get half
think-
your money now as soon as we get done.
I think more so. Well, no, it's not, because you still would need like 10 years of a marriage in order to get like a decent amount of money in California. But anyway, the point being, I think what it is, and I think this is more rational and more logically consistent, the idea that once you get married, you now have different expectations. So whereas like what you were doing before, whatever, I was willing to tolerate that because I didn't have the expectations associated with a marriage. But now that the marriage is here, I'm saying you're not keeping up your end of the bargain, and now this is intolerable for me, and we can't just go back to regular of just not married and back to this relationship.
True. That's not true.
Also,
it just depends on how your marriage operates. But
that's true for a lot of people. I'm not saying this is true every time. I'm saying this is true for a lot of people. Are you saying that's not the case?
No, I'm saying Jamali is talking about marriage is not necessarily the case. Like, it's not necessary to have this type of relationship. That's what Jamali is saying.
Yeah.
You're saying obviously
that marriage is in a way a bit arbitrary rather than something like, because I think in many cases when we think of marriage, we think of like a binding contract where you stand in front of, like, go to the courthouse, sign a paper where you stand in front of like your entire families, and then all of a sudden you're married. But I would argue that in many cases, before that even happens, in many cases people are already married because they have like committed to being together, just the two of them. Being, in many cases, not necessarily, they don't have to necessarily be mutually exclusive. In many cases, you can have a polyamorous marriage.
I don't think you can.
They have committed to each other, and they live together. They live their lives together. They, their finances might be merged, maybe not to the extent that you get, like the benefits that you get from being married.
What's your overall point that you're trying to make right now?
I'm just trying to see, like, I just feel like when we talk about marriage, or at least the way in which I guess Fanatic was talking about it, the way in which that it was coming off to me.
The way that it's widely talked about.
It's actually illegal to be married to more than one person in America.
Okay. Well, yeah, but like you can still have polyamorous relationships. Though. Like
you said, it's illegal, right? Did you say
illegal? Yes.
But polyamory is different from polygamy. So
yes.
Like
right, yeah. God, I lost my train of thought when that happened. We'll come back to it.
Okay, so here's the point. Fanatic, what you're saying is, in the status quo today, when people get married, they have different sets of values, and therefore their expectations are higher. What we're saying is that's their choice to make. It doesn't have to be that way. Marriage doesn't force you to be that way. That's just what you think marriage is, and that's why you're
nobody's saying you're forced.
That's society.
And so what we're saying is you don't need marriage to have different high set of standards. Just have that already.
With your partner, yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry, and I get now we've been talking past each other this entire time because what you guys are saying is that it's not necessary, and I agree with you. It isn't necessary. What I'm saying is that this is the most common perception of what marriage is. And so while you can say you don't have to have it that way, you don't have to believe that way. Sure, you don't have to, but this is the way most people believe, and this is the most regard and respect that people have for marriage that differs from other monogamous relationships. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I agree with that. That's just a matter of fact. No one's going to disagree with that.
Right. And I think that. Yeah, I think the other thing with what marriage does is like in the society we live in, marriage like requires a social threshold of like it creates a threshold of like what you're buying into. People have had boyfriends and girlfriends since they were 7 years old, like or for some people, like you can do that really young, and there's always an out. Like, okay, like even if we live together, like I live with my girlfriend currently, but we've both admitted that we are like, even though we're living together and we share finance, we are not ready for marriage because marriage in society is seen as like first a heavy level social commitment. They're like, oh, okay, this is it. Like I'm not thinking about being like there's no possibility of being with someone else in my life. I'm locking down. The other thing that it does is it locks together your finances in a way that like boyfriend and girlfriend just doesn't do. You now combine debts. So like if you're yeah, no like way. Now her debt is your debt now, and like you're on the hook for that for the rest of your life.
What about a prenup? Can that fix that? Can I say my debt is my debt, your debt yours?
No, a prenup just means like when you guys get separated, like that's how you divide shit up when you get separated.
There's probably ways, but I'm not sure what they would be.
You're telling me there's no way for me to not have debt for my
you
wife.
You can do
med school
relationship.
Yeah, no, there's legal ways to be able to make sure that your debt stays separate. But then within the marriage, all the debt and everything will be tied into the estate. So then like if so then if like for example I got X amount of student loan debt and then we end up separating, if we've already began paying on that thing together and we didn't do any kind of prenup, we will be together. But I can actually make the thing exclusive to me and stuff. That you can legally do it. There's a way, but 9 times out of 10, if you're going into the marriage in that way, then it already is. Some people feel like that's a sign of, like the intention of something.
And that's what I don't like. Why are people so anti-prenup? It's so dumb to me.
Yeah, I don't get that either.
Like, I asked my girlfriend, I was like, I think a prenup is smart for both of us. And she's like, you're already planning for failure. I said, you wear a seatbelt, don't you? That doesn't mean
you
we
get
don't
car
plan to crash.
insurance, right?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah. But
back on topic
though, as far as like the masculinity and things, right? Like I don't, or what I call the masculinization of women. I don't like that, and the reason is because I think there is a femininity that is like kind of that we already recognize, because it's not just us in society that sees the idea of like women being like kind of the homemakers and men being the people that work and so on and so forth. It's just that this happens to be kind of reversed, right? Like freaking degree, like attaining degrees for Black women is higher than for Black males. There are more Black women out earning Black men than in other relationships, although the majority of Black men do still out earn their Black women. But I think all of these things are like kind of masculine. And I think you can tie these things into different levels of oppression and stuff, right?
Hold on.
I think these things are...
So going to school...
Let's go to
I think those are neutral things.
Let's go to Jesse first, and then I want to...
I think it's also intentional by those that make legislation and blah, blah, blah to have it this way. I don't think what we're existing in right now is unintentional. It's literally, let's lock up and take Black men out of the home, and let's give women as many economic opportunities as we can, which will erode the Black family. So this is like...
I think that's an oversimplification.
So when Black women get educated,
it's meant to be a
family...
simplification, yeah.
So when Black women get educated, the Black family suffers?
Is that what I said?
I think
that's what it sounded like.
Did you
What you and
Nobody's
Fanatic
saying
said.
that
Did you
at
think
all.
other component?
I mean, y'all said that going to school is apparently a
Did you hear
masculine thing.
Nobody's saying that, Eli.
Nobody said that.
I could have swore
Eli,
Fanatic
Eli,
said that, like, that's
Eli, hold on,
masculine.
hold on. No, Eli, hold on. If you're not understanding everybody else's, you should stop talking, and then you should let us talk, so you'll start to understand, right? So let's hold your hand through this. There were two components to what was said. What was said was bringing the Black man down and raising the women at the same time. Just raising up women is a great thing. But when you also do it in a world where you're suppressing Black men, that's when it becomes problematic and when all of these issues arise.
I think there's probably some level of truth to that.
Some level of truth?
Yeah, I think a better explanation for for what's happening in our society, at least in the Black community, is generally Black men are seen, like the Black people we see successful in society are through routes that don't generally require education. So like I know a lot of Black, but
that's just not true.
No, I'm saying, hold on, let me just finish the point. I'm saying that we see a lot of Black people, we see a lot of like young
Sports
Black people put their sports and entertainment. That's what they put their time into.
Right, we heard that we all got that in the first place, but why is that?
I mean, yeah, sure. No, that's what I'm saying. That's the level of truth. I think that's the surface level of truth that I agree with Gambit. But the next step from that isn't that like, oh, Black men would be capable, would or want to get this education, but the system isn't allowing to. Is where Black men are growing up in a system where we don't want to get the education, and Black women are just more. Basically, they assume that like, oh, okay, education is the way I'm going to get out. While, like I said, rapping may be the way that a Black man sees himself getting out.
No, it's not. It's not just people in sports and entertainment. I think there's a great amount of reasons for this. Number one, like if you look at it, like people tend to emulate the things that they saw their parents do, whereas men very often in certain households were required to like provide. So from the time that you're young, you're automatically told that you have to be providing in a Black family. And so then when you're not, when it hasn't been while the Black men were providing in these scenarios, Black women were able to go to school and get degrees. This is how it was with my parents. My mother went to school at one point while my dad was just the provider, like early on in their marriage, or at least that was her desires. So then when that happens, then it makes all the sense in the world that she would have a degree and he wouldn't. So then when you have that happen generationally, when the next generation comes along, then they recognize mom got degrees. So then the girls are already emulating their mothers and recognizing my mother got degrees, so I want to get degrees as well. And so then this is why you end up having this mismatch, because from a very young age, Black men are told to work, are told to like whatever, whereas school is sometimes a delay of being able to work, right? Because you're expected to provide immediately. So that's where these things happen.
I agree with that too. I think that's also part of it.
I just want to ask, what is Fnatic and Gambit? What do you guys think is?
Please don't ask it in bad faith. Your voice is just telling me that.
I'm not. I'm just curious.
Okay, I'm listening.
What do you think is like a trait of like, or what makes someone masculine?
I'll let you have a Gambit if you want.
Yeah, I would say aggression. I would say there's a bunch of traits that are more masculine that I think than feminine. And I think that it's okay to embrace those things and learn how to control them rather than this world where we try to emasculate ourselves and act like that's not what the game is.
I think you can use a better example than aggression. What about courage? What about pride? What about
Is that courage and pride are masculine?
Well, here, no, I
yes,
can break it
women
down.
can have those things, but that doesn't make it not masculine.
Can we expound on what he was saying? I think I can steelman it a little bit. What the thing is, typically, what those things are they are played to they're played towards male strengths, right? So, like as far as things like male having more physical strength than like females, right? And so then, since that is a quality that's more inherent to males, then displaying that quality in a competitive way would be something that's more masculine because
and pride.
No, hold on. The first thing you were talking about was aggression, right? So then with aggression, the reason why that is because that's being able to be forceful and competitive with this thing that is a male trait, which is physical strength, right? And so then, go ahead. So then, with that being said, that's why that would be something that would be considered masculine. Whereas for feminine, it would be things like being supportive of males in that capacity, and so on and so forth. When it comes to courage and pride, courage is basically just the willingness to step past your fear in order to put yourself in the place of being a protector, and so on and so forth, right? And in that kind of some types of courage, right? And so then when you would think, well, we've always kind of put that role on men because men were more able to protect. Men are seen in society as supposed to have the role of protection. So then that courage is masculine in that regard. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And I would say the aggression thing too. Hold on one second. To expand on that a little bit, like what that looks like in play, just to show like an implementation of it, is things like salary negotiation. Like we see that men are far more disagreeable and they will ask for more and will demand more or leave or create other things. And women don't do that as much. And I've specifically talked to a lot of my close friends about things like that. And their careers have skyrocketed when they embrace being able to disagree, which is unfortunate. They have to be in a situation somewhere.
Okay, so would you? I gotta push back to that. I gotta push back to that.
Stop on. Do you think these things are innate? Right, so you're calling them masculine and feminine. So you're sorting these different qualities there because of.
I would say this. I would say Jamali gave an example of we're picking our wild character, right? I think the class of men have more points in aggression than women on average, which is bared out by all of the psychological data. But so I think that is why, to what Fnatic said, that's what makes us males be able to embrace it and go further with it.
So hold on, okay, like you brought up the idea of negotiating, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we live in a society that discourages women from being assertive, right? Like assertive women are called bitches. Right?
No.
Bitchy
women are called bitches.
Yeah.
No.
Women,
and bitchy men are called bitches too.
So the point.
Absolutely.
I can't deal with that right now.
Yeah.
I'll deal with that later. But yeah, assertive women are called bitches, right? We tell women to take up as less space, as little space as possible, and to look pretty while doing it. And then into that. And from that social context, you come into a situation where you have to negotiate, and you're told to more or less accept it. Be more agreeable, right, rather than disagreeable. So that's you would agree.
I get what you're saying, and I would say.
So I just wanted to ask.
Hold on.
Can he respond?
I'm responding. Probably now that you go. But well, I would say two things. I would say that when you listed out how you feel about women being suppressed or whatever in that way. I think what is quickly forgotten is that this culturally is influenced by men and women. And I think that that's the case. And I think when we get on these panels, we call it like patriarchy and all of this, but women embrace more agreeable roles as well. So I think both of those things are true. I don't think women are somewhat disregarded in that way, but I think it's because they're not willing to go to the level of aggression that men will. Like, I'm gonna tell somebody, hey, you're gonna give me whatever the fuck I want, or I'm just not working. I'm gonna go find another job. And a lot of people don't have that like aggression, and specifically in females, I don't see that as much.
Yeah,
for sure.
Well, the
No,
thing
I would
is-
say, I would
Again,
say,
disagree that's a
necessarily a-
function of aggression.
I would say,
It's
I would
not
actually
necessarily
say,
a bad. It is aggression.
Hold
But
on,
it's not a bad thing.
I would
or a
say-
good thing.
I would say that in many cases, when we talk about like women having to be more agreeable and what have you, there's a lot of truth. Basically, like, there was nothing wrong with what Prime said. There was nothing but fact there. In many cases, I would even argue that women are talked over by men in many situations, in many social circles. I do it sometimes
Men
as a
talk
man, and
over
I don't
men
need
too, though.
to.
Men talk
Right.
over men too.
Right.
There's a certain level.
But-
There's a you see how I'm making you stop. There's a certain level of aggression,
but-
and they talk
Oh,
over
I'm
but-
doing it right now.
But
He's proving his point.
because like I wasn't done with my
I
point.
know.
No, but that's the
making-
point
that
he's
was-
making.
It's
That's
over his
the
head. It's
point
over his
he's
head.
making.
Just move past it.
No, no.
It's over his head. He's missing it. He's missing it. It's okay.
just go, Eli.
I wasn't-
Shoot.
He's talking over you. He's talking.
I was gonna say that it's not really great when men talk over each other either. Like, it's just that we expect less of it from women, and when they do it, we often call them bitchy. When a woman is assertive, we call her bitchy. When a woman is outspoken or acts how some like to say independent or what have you, from men typically we call them bitchy. We degrade them in many in many ways and what
Are you
have you.
saying that? Are you saying that those things don't get hurled at men? That do? Have you seen the comments on YouTube when me and Fanatic are on panels and we're doing the thing where we make y'all stop and listen? They talk bad about us too,
Wait,
right?
say explain what you mean. Explain what you mean, because I think I know what you're talking about. But go ahead and flesh it out.
You're trying to paint this world as if it's men oppressing women, but it's really
In many cases it is.
This certain level of men is oppressing everybody. Like, all of y'all can get it. Like, if you're talking and you're trying to make your point, and I want to talk, you should shut the hell up. No, I'm joking, but I'm trying to make my point because you missed it early. But like, the level of men that are aggressive in that way, they're aggressive that way with everybody, not particularly women. They're aggressive that way with
Right.
everybody.
But it's the thing is though, I feel like we're more aggressive when it comes down to
No.
women. Yeah, 100%. We are way more
No,
aggressive
no.
when it comes down to women, and when it comes, because like I never hear a dude call another dude a bitch because he was talking over him. It's
because
usually
that's
what
a gender-
happens is like what's going on with this
I've
panel right
never
now.
heard a man
Dudes just
call a
sit there
woman a
like
bitch
elephant
before.
seals trying to
What meeting
scream
have
over
you
each
been
other.
in?
Yeah, where
Bro,
have you
what
been?
meeting have you been in where the nigga was like, "Shut up, I'm talking"? That don't happen in real
Okay,
life.
okay, so wait, okay. I want to say that. Let me say something. Okay, so I think what Eli is trying to say that even we do agree that men also, yell over.
Steel man him instead of letting us respond.
I just cause I'm hearing this and it's like a bunch of chatter, but no one's actually getting around to the point of just saying that there's men who compete with other men, obviously, who yell, talk over other men, but that'll happen at a lesser degree than maybe it happens. And wait, let me finish. In a lesser degree, to the extent that when another man is going to talk over another man, there's some level of competition there. There's like if there's a level of deep enough like difference between the two, they're not gonna do that, right? They're not gonna speak over. There's certain people that other men and in certain areas will not speak over. Now that same man who might be on a lower level or a low totem pole, whatever alpha beta bullshit you want to say in any environment that has men and women in it, might feel more comfortable speaking over a woman than he would feel speaking over other men. I don't think that men are overtly like excluding and shitting on women in the workplace and like shut up bitch like that. Like, I don't think that that's happening, but I do think that a man might feel more comfortable speaking up over a woman than they would speaking up over a man in certain presentations and industries. Absolutely.
But you got to think
did-
about
it's the
why.
exact
Why is
opposite
that
of
the
that.
case? Why is that the case? Because you got to think about it. If you're more comfortable speaking to that woman, you're more comfortable speaking to that woman because blank. And for that reason is the same reason you might speak to a very docile man. So you just say you're not up to handling like very aggressive people in general, and that's why you're more likely to be, aggressive towards that woman in that hypothetical man you're talking about. In my instance,
in my instance, I'm very like, whatever, aggressive when I'm talking about in these heated conversations. And when I'm talking to a man, it's the same thing. I give the same energy as I'm an equal opportunity fighter, talker, debater, whatever you want to call it. So I give the same energy as I give a man, and I give a woman. But when I talk to the woman, they might think that I'm treating them differently because they're a woman, because they're not used to how I'm talking. But I'm treating them exactly what equality wants to treat them, like fair and the same as I was treat a man. But they're thinking, oh, it's unfair because he's. But no, this is literally how I talk to my friends. They always say, "Do you talk to your friends that way?" Yes, this is how we talk. Just because you're not used to it doesn't mean it's like more aggressive.
Maybe we should change the way we
No,
talk.
I think that is the exact opposite of everything that Jamali said. Like this, I think this panel goes very, even now, like we're all cutting each other off. I think this panel we're watching in real time would go really different. Like Jamali, you're like masculine presenting, but if there was like 3 women on the panel, I don't think we are as easy to like, oh, we just keep going. Like if you feel like jumping to the point, because I catch myself doing it all the time. When Jay is on panel, if I see Jay raising her hand like 3 or 4 times, I'm like, hey, y'all, Jay trying to say something. Chill out
exactly.
for a second.
I was gonna say that too.
I think that men are much more likely to cut each other off and like just move on it, into some assertive way. And I think we do generally make space. Either we make space for women, or like we whenever people are like, a woman is coming to like a masculine space, I think that like you warn them like, oh, okay, it can get pretty rough in there, not in like locker room talk, but just like you got to fight in there, you got to make your way in there. I know that just happened. I just kept talking.
I think it would benefit women to be more assertive.
Lando Calrissian just showed up, y'all.
True. That's not wrong, Dream. You're so right. Women absolutely should be more assertive. I think women probably aren't more assertive because of generations upon generations of being in a more, submissive role in society. I think in the same
them by men, yes.
And yes, in the same way. Well,
but not
women also. Gambit actually did say something that was perfectly true. Women also did play a part in assigning their own role. At some point, it happened. Yes, that is true. Now, you could argue whether or not it's been abused by the fact that the people who have the ability to accrue the most power can abuse that more submissive class, which has historically most likely probably been true. But in the same way that, black people were bred over 400 years to be strong and big, and now they're like, most black people are playing in sports, is the same way or same reason why most women would probably be less aggressive and show less traits that we're talking about that would be considered masculine.
Can we say that these things aren't necessarily about breeding? And I think this is where the problem comes in, is that some people want to live in like in a non-biological reality, right? Because some of these things, like testosterone, is known to cause aggression. That's like a thing that happens. And like there's already plenty of examples, like where like even when people are like taking hormones, like when trans men are taking hormones and things like that, the testosterone psychologically increases aggression and things like that.
Testosterone is produced in both men and women.
Yes,
first of all, and second of all, do you think if there are biological or ecological things that
let me finish. So yes, this is true, but the thing is, when you start taking testosterone, it increases the levels of testosterone that would not ordinarily be there, and then this also results in more aggression, because a testosterone is associated and correlated with aggression. So it's not like society is the only thing pushing this. Some of this stuff is just literally biologically born out.
Yeah. Do you think that if there was...
I don't think anybody's arguing.
Do you think that if there was...
Right. So good. I get it. I get that was a very banal point. But then if that's the case, then trying to attribute this to only society sounds absolutely ridiculous. It also explains why, when we talk about like men over talking other people, because of the fact that men tend to fraternize more so with men, or just be like in more social circles with other men, and women tend to be in more social circles with women. Why we've developed certain habits and seen certain attributes, and these things are off-putting once you start like mixing these sort of things. When you start mixing men with women, you're going to see like, we have to start renegotiating the way some of these things are, because if it's normally supposed to be just about who's more aggressive is going to suck up more air in the room, and women are not used to being in circles where they have to be aggressive to suck up air in the room, and it's actually seen as being more rude and things like that, where because they're now appealing more towards just different values, then that means now if we don't create spaces or literally force men not to do this, then they will just naturally talk over women, because they're naturally talking over anyone in this space, because it's an aggressive thing that needs to happen in order for them to command the space that they want to. Right?
I would argue that that's something that has just been like societally accepted. And
No, okay. So I want to distance myself from this. It's not just society. It is nature and it is also nurture. It is both. It is literally biological that these things are happening as to why these two particular sexes in our species tend to have these roles in our society. I'm saying that we're essentially agreeing that if there were a control, obviously in this hypothetical, where women had to be more physical, they had to be more this and that and the third, they would end up producing more testosterone, being the breadwinner, so forth and so on, right?
It can't just alter their biology.
No,
Wait. This is over.
You think the
Wait,
biology?
what's the time span do you think I'm talking of? What's the time span do you think I'm talking of? Do you think I'm talking of like 100 years, couple hundred years? Do you think I'm talking like thousands of years? In the way that human civilizations have gone.
Scale.
Jamali, you're just wrong. You're literally thinking reverse, right? Like you're inverting the causal relationship here. It's that the natural tendencies from the biology, from having more estrogen as opposed to having more testosterone, is what we've responded to in order to create these roles. You're saying in your brain right now that if we were to reverse the roles over time, eventually women would just start producing more testosterone than men. If we inverted the roles, and that's just not the way that works.
Yeah, I don't think that's scientifically backed up at all.
I'm pretty sure that if you were to go ahead and take a Google, like just a quick Google spree to see if there were any other species on the planet that would have women be more,
probably
that would have women be more,
love this, right?
that have the female versions of a species be the dominant version of that species. That can happen in nature.
Biology is different.
Well, yeah. If there are certain environmental things that affect their biology, which does, and we're saying that
their DNA.
Yeah. What? And we're saying and
chill.
Wait, no. You always cut people off for interrupting you. Chill.
Okay. One at a time.
I believe it's Jamali's turn.
Yeah, I do believe it is.
Finish your point, and go to Fanatic.
The point I'm making is that there are obviously things in nature that can be proven that could have these sorts of results, where something that would be considered, or the feminine sex of something and the masculine sex of something have what we would consider, if we're tracing them and analogizing them to our own species, because that's the point. The point is that if you can see these things in nature, and I'm saying in a hypothetical world, this is a hypothetical, where women are the hunter and the hunters and the men are the gatherers, there would be biological differences over time based on what these roles of people are doing. The only reason that men and women have those biological differences now is because of the roles that they took while doing things that gave them more proclivities to be have more testosterone or estrogen or certain levels of eyesight or strength or muscle density. All of these things are environmentally factored into the evolution of our species.
No, I agree.
But what came first, and what was that?
I don't know what that has to do.
The biology came first before the environment.
Before y'all tell
Jamar. Wait, biology, life existed before the environment?
I'm on Team Jamali.
You have to be existing in order to face the environment, right?
This feels relevant. This feels irrelevant. Just let me say this real quick. I think that generally speaking, what Jamali's saying is true. Not over 1,000 years, but like if we're in some hypothetical control where like the most masculine women we find in society, like we only allow the most masculine women to reproduce, and we only allow the most docile men to reproduce over like millions of years, we would you would come out with like less masculine men and more
run into men and get killed off. That's what will happen.
No, I'm saying that, but he's talking about the controlling society. I'm saying, yeah, but like all you're doing is replacing them. Now those women will become what we see now as men. Like if you control this for a million years, of course you would. But that like, but I don't think that's the point though. Like that, like if you're doing that control, you're no longer dealing with like reality.
I don't even think that's true. I think if it's artificial control, it's not going to alter your biology.
Yeah, over a million years. Yeah, breeding, of course. Evolution doesn't stop.
Selective breeding.
There's no way to predict what's gonna happen with like
if only the men with the lowest T levels and only women with like the highest levels reproduce.
You're assuming that masculine females produce offspring, and if they're females, will be more masculine because their mother was more masculine.
No, but I'm saying if you repeat that over a million years,
wait, no, hold on. I got it. It's the simplest way of saying this. Do you think that testosterone levels are hereditary?
Yeah.
We're not having a scientific argument anymore. I'm not engaging with that. That's stupid. This is just that's just not true.
Well, I'm saying so you don't think that humans can change over a million years?
I don't think testosterone levels are hereditary. I'll say it that way. I'm not going to say I don't think. Testosterone levels are not hereditary. Like trying to find like higher testosterone females and like, first off, like if you're trying to do a control like that, the degrees are so insane right now. I don't even know how you would even begin to do anything like that. And I don't think that's like when you look at it's relevant. And when you look at like these different species in like lions and things, where like the females are dominant and things like that. It's not that the females are dominant because they have higher testosterone levels. That's not the way this works. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Yeah, I didn't know. I don't mention lions. I didn't mention lions. I just said that you could.
He did. Jamali did.
A quick Google search. Maybe I need to dig more into this. Maybe I need to dig more into this. But quick search.
Please do.
Scientists now believe that low testosterone is hereditary. Other things say we have shown that high testosterone levels in men and women are heritable, 20%, and influenced by a combined effect of many genetic variants in genes. I mean. This is from nature.com. I could probably look more into that. Yeah, I don't know.
As the resident person with a biologist for a mother and of several people who do lab work, the claim isn't so unfounded, right? It's not 1-to-1. You're not socially boosting your testosterone. You can't yell yourself into higher testosterone levels. That's ridiculous.
Okay, I just Googled. Is testosterone hereditary?
Thank you for
the very first thing that happened was a man's testosterone levels are largely determined by his childhood environment rather than by genetics. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Wait, you just said the opposite. They're going against your point.
No, what? It's by childhood environment rather than his genetics. It's not by genetics.
Yeah, no.
You're arguing for environment.
We're talking about environment. You're just talking about environment. Senpai.
Oh, sure. I could tell that could be against my point. Sure.
Oh, okay. So
let me go. Right. Let me read this to see what it's saying.
I wanna let some people in, right? Okay. So we'll start with Azzy. Azzy, thank you for joining us. Much appreciated, buddy. So yeah, we were on. Did you hear the start of the topic? Did you hear the prompt, Azzy?
I heard bits and pieces. I was listening to two different conversations at the same time. So
you were listening to
I heard
the fucking stream. Unbelievable.
I wasn't even in stream. I was in another Discord and I was listening to the stream because I know.
I'm messing with you. All right. So like so we're doing our second topic first. So let me read it again for you. All right. Do you think that there are any responsibilities within a hetero relationship that simply belong to a man? Would you be okay if a woman was the main provider for your family? If she was a more skilled fighter? Would it be okay if she defended the family when there was trouble? Would you be fine with a woman proposing to you? If you are a woman, how do you feel about taking on these roles? So, what are your thoughts?
Thoughts only if they have to. It's unnecessary because they are the part of our human race that produces children. So if they die off, it's like any army. Think of China. All the strong men go out to war. They die off. Now you're left with, the men who aren't as attractive, aren't as strong, and now there's a bunch of women, right? So now you have a bunch of women, and it's just the way things works. When the good men die off, you're left with women. I don't want all my good women dying off. You guys may think this is a funny point. I might have posed it in a very hilarious way, but listen, if all the good women are dying who are childbearing and we can't have any more kids. That's just 1-to-1.
So you follow ugly women going to war?
Nah, I'm not even. Listen, even sometimes even I said childbearing. It's not about the way they look, because sometimes even the ugly girls, they can pop out. My great grandmother.
What are you about to say about your own great grandmother, Azzy?
My great grandmother was not ugly. She wasn't. She has 16 children. All right, she has 16 children. Her husband
just called your great grandmother
ugly.
No, I did
yeah,
not.
you said she busted, bro. You said she busted, son.
I didn't say that.
Ugly women. My great grandmother. I'm just like, I'm having a stroke, bro. I'm on
your family members, bro.
This is
I'm
why
telling.
I took my hiatus because y'all just don't know how to be flexible with y'all minds. Y'all just too.
Oh, you called your great grandmother ugly, my dude.
No, I did not.
You mean flexible?
Okay, y'all.
Okay.
You really did, bro.
Continue to
Yeah, it's a cute fact. Let's call my great grandmother ugly.
Wait.
Tone it down, Chris Rock.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I'll finish my point. It's glad to be back. Listen, that's my thoughts on that. If they have to. If there's not enough men around, think of the industrial, age. And there's wars. Wartime came. Men had to go to war. Women had to take up the mantle. They had to take care of the home. They had to go into the workforce. They took over.
So what you're saying is all boomers are ugly.
Hold on.
Oh, she's unmuted.
Riri.
And Riri, I have to say, I love your
just
stream.
use Discord.
I love your stream.
Guys, keep yourself muted in StreamYard so that we can talk on Discord. That's what we use that for. Discord for audio, StreamYard for visuals. But Riri, thank you for being here. I've been trying to make this happen for quite a while.
There's an
Riri.
echo. My bad.
I'm glad she's on.
My
when
fault.
I'm on.
Look, guys, I just came from work, so I apologies for jumping in this conversation, but it sounded like what you said is like boomers are all ugly, and I would agree with that. So, I'm on board with that.
No.
Her point, not mine.
Embrace Azzy on that point. No.
Listen.
What's the minimum?
No,
What's the minimum
that's her
age of
point. Y'all see that? This is about to go back on hiatus.
Okay,
bro.
all right, sorry. I want to get to Riri's opinion on this, right? So
what? You let me finish. Let me finish before
you finish yet.
You called your great grandmother ugly.
No, bro. You listen.
You're at a marathon, bro. You're at
Because this is how it goes. I say something that you guys seem controversial. Y'all butt in, and then I can't finish nothing.
You called your great grandmother ugly.
Azzy, please.
Go ahead.
Oh my goodness. All right. Child rearing women should not go into do anything dangerous unless need be. All right? Do we understand that? Let's move forward. I wanted to touch on Jamali's point, and then you can go to Riri.
There's a Mad Max
His point
that somewhere.
His point was not unfounded. There's epigenetics. There's food you can eat that are testosterone boosting, natural foods. Just working out boosts testosterone. That's why sometimes you'll avoid certain workouts because you don't want, legs. Legs is in men, testosterone is stored in their legs, in their loins. So you'll see, you can tell like when a man has low testosterone, he probably got skinny legs. Could be, because of something else, but hey, it is what it is. It's not 1-to-1. Just take it as a leave it. You don't have to engage.
So
with
what you're saying is I have high testosterone because I have thick ass
You might have.
Oh, wow.
Yep. Yes.
I didn't know
yes.
this.
Are you saying? Wait, hold up. Are you saying my fiance has a lot of testosterone?
It might
Oh
be.
my! Hey, hold on.
More
Let's
than
stop
you?
this.
Let's
Wait,
keep
wait,
going.
y'all.
Now you can go to
Time out.
We can't
Yeah.
degrade into this.
You guys.
Yeah, I don't know why people just can't leave it alone. Y'all just wanna.
Okay, let's move on. Riri,
Go to Riri.
What are your general thoughts on the prompt? You don't have to necessarily respond to anyone, but just your general thoughts.
Yeah. So I don't.
Boomers are ugly.
So I don't think anyone has to ascribe to traditional gender tropes. I think everyone could kind of fall into the roles they want to fall into. I don't believe in ascribing to any sort of set roles in general, but that's just me. I'm, I guess, unconventional in that way. However, there are differences between men and women, and I think men are typically more suited for things that require, physicality. However, I also believe that you know, women who are very strong could do those roles as well. The testosterone argument that I heard when I came in was interesting because testosterone can be gained, you know, like you can go to the gym and acquire more testosterone. Like, you know, it's not an end all be all thing. Yes, genetics play a part in that, but it's not something that can't be worked on, if you will.
Yeah, I don't think anybody was making the claim that you can't do things to increase your testosterone. But if we're talking about competing with people that have the highest of testosterone levels, there could potentially be genetic gates that keep women away from those type of arenas.
Puberty is number one. Like if like once you go through puberty, the levels of testosterone is gonna go way higher.
Yeah,
That's why you went in the Junior Olympics, like 8-year-olds, girls and 8-year-old boys, they're really competitive. Even there's some 8-year-old girls that's faster, but once you go to 9, 8, 10.
Fanatic, make your point on this, but I actually want to focus in on the general things and not this testosterone.
Thank you. Actually, you know what? You're right. Let's get past that.
Yeah,
well, actually, no, I do, just so that everyone's really clear really quickly. Yes, so environment can influence that, but that doesn't go to your argument because even though environment can be an influence, it doesn't overcome the genetic sex advantage, right? Your chromosomes are going to determine what those levels are. So yes, you can say, oh man, because of environment or because of activity, I can increase my testosterone to a level. There is literally no type of environment, no type of activity level or anything that will make a woman's testosterone levels be higher than that of a man. Like these things are crazy.
Of a man or of like the top?
We are no.
On the average,
we're done with this. We're moving on.
Thank you.
So I want to focus in on like the prompt, right? Okay. So Riri, you've missed some of this conversation. I'm curious what your thoughts would be, right? So at some point we were some of the men here were assigning traits in the categories of masculine or feminine, right? They said aggression is a masculine trait, but they also said courage and pride is a masculine trait. Some people talked about how black women are being, and if anything I say is wrong, please correct me.
I would say one slight thing. When we say masculine, we don't mean that women don't have the ability to exude this, just that there's a distribution and that men are of the higher tier. That's all.
So, I think it's interesting that courage and pride was included in that.
I said aggression.
I know.
I can see.
And then also, like our man Fanatic here said that black women were being masculinized, right? And part of the reason, correct me if I'm wrong, if this is what you're saying, part of that reason is because they're getting more educated than men, right? They end up
because of the removal of men.
The main reason is the removal of men
forces them to take up the removal of men from like societal influence. Black men causes them to take up more traditionally masculine roles. Blah blah blah.
Fanatic, was I wrong? You said like I remember you brought up.
You did say that.
Yeah, let me break it down. So yes, I was saying like in things like education, right? Because education, especially back in the day, was a primarily male thing. Men out-earned women in degrees across the board. But when it comes to black people, specifically black women, out-earn men when it comes to degrees, right? And so then that disparity is already there. When it comes to like out-earning men, still the vast majority of black men out-earn their wives, but a disproportionate level of black women out-earn black men. And so since things like educational attendance or education attention and earnings and things like that are typically distributed to different sexes, like we're seeing that there's an imbalance there. And then of course obviously women have to take on the role of being like the protectors of their families in the case where there's an absence of the male inside of the home. And so if you have a person that's in prison or just not there inside of whatever, like the direct household, women have to take on the role of protecting themselves and being masculine in that regard. So black women don't get to rest in their femininity.
All part of society masculizing women.
That is a huge portion of that when it comes to black women, I would say, because I think black women are just as feminine as every other other people. But I would say that all women, in the absence of a male, have to take on specific aspects of society because certain aspects of society are literally designed for men.
I think this perspective of masculinity comes from westernization ideas of masculine. Unfortunately, I feel that Black people as a whole don't really culturally fit into what the typical standard tropes are for gender, men or women. And I feel like I don't think we should be ascribing to this Western idea of what being a woman and being a man is.
But
Aggression,
we're living in a Western
sure.
world.
Yeah, we are, but we're not culturally Western. Like, a lot of Black culture isn't American culture.
What culture?
Yeah, it's
does it
Black
have?
American culture. It's Black American
Yes,
culture, right?
but it's not American. American culture is very,
I
very
know what you
set
mean.
on these traditional, like, oh, this, you work, the man works and the woman stays at home and nurtures the kids. But that's not how Black American culture is.
Wait,
And
still in the
I-
vast
What
majority-
culture
wait,
doesn't
It
do
literally
that?
was.
That's not true. Wait, hold on. Wait, that's just not true. Still in the vast majority of Black households in which you have two-parent households, the number of like stay-at-home women as opposed to stay-at-home men is still overwhelmingly like higher for women than men, right? Like so. Like,
not in
still-
Black
still-
American, not in Black
yes,
American
even,
homes.
Even in Black American homes, still the man
Yes.
still out-earns the woman in the vast majority of homes, right?
Yeah,
I didn't
Riri,
say
hold on.
out-earned. I said
Hold on,
that
wait,
the
Riri, do
woman
you
doesn't is a stay-at-home mom. That is
Wait,
not the
Riri,
case for Black
hold on, wait,
American
wait,
Not a
homes.
necessity.
Because it's
There's
it
not a
sounds
lot
like-
of nuclear families in Black
on.
American homes. You feel
That's
me?
why Fanatic qualified it in saying two-parent households.
Yeah. So really, you think in two-parent households there are more stay-at-home dads than stay-at-home moms?
No, I think both people work in both of those families because of the
Yeah.
necessity for.
Wait. But I asked you a
that type.
specific question, right? Like I really want you to answer the question that I asked you.
I missed this.
Do you
I
think
missed
there are more stay-at-home moms or more stay-at-home dads? I understand that there are households where both people work, but I'm asking you specifically
in Black American homes or just in general?
in Black American two-parent homes or two-people homes.
I honestly couldn't tell you. I would have to look that up. I couldn't tell you.
The answer
How do
is
you
going to
not
be
know
that
this?
men are earning more.
Because I didn't look it up.
Probably, yeah.
I just
Well,
thought
no, but intuitively
listen.
you have no.
literally
I
just
listened.
said.
I listened. I just believe that my question was, how
Wait,
do
this-
you not know? And the thing was, the implication in that question is, since you want to get snappy, is that intuitively.
I didn't get snappy. I answered
Okay,
the
if you
question.
okay, sure.
Answer the
Intuitively,
question.
everyone should recognize that there are significantly more stay-at-home women than there are stay-at-home men, right? Like even in Black households, like we all know this. What?
Also, the
You think there's
majority
a-
of
do you know?
I'ma just
Do you know
let
a lot
'em
of
keep
stay-at-home
digging.
men in Black households at all?
I don't know a lot of stay-at-home anyone in Black households. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I'm
she's
saying
saying
that's
that
what
everyone.
Okay,
too.
sure. But do you know of some stay-at-home women?
No, I don't know. of
None at
any.
all?
Zero. Yes.
Yeah, she's
No.
saying
yeah,
she's
you're
saying that
lying.
the black culture is
I'm
different
not
from the
lying.
Western
I
culture.
just I have no perspective of it. I'm
yeah, it's
ignorant
her-
of
I
it.
get
I'm-
it, yeah.
That's what I.
That's what
admit.
she's saying is
It's her
different, if I'm not
experience. It's her
mistaken.
experience.
But
Her
that's
experience-
also,
yeah.
but that's also true for like if we're talking about majority. That's also true for white households. Like the majority of white households in 2022 aren't
Or
stay-at-home,
most-
stay-at-home mothers. Like
That's-
the only reason that like black people from an early age in American history have been having like two people work in the household was just out of a necessity because of a lack of like financial opportunity. Like that, it was based in survival, not because like this is the culture that we chose that we wanted women to be out as like much as possible.
I don't even think it was that. I think it was just there's now a financial necessity because you can't used to
That's
be
what I said.
You could wait, say it again.
That's literally what I said. That's exactly what I said. That was
Okay,
verbatim.
never mind then.
That's what he said.
It wasn't a choice. That's what I'm saying. Like women, we didn't decide in black household. You know what?
Right.
We should let the
It
women
wasn't
work.
a
first.
Okay, yeah, you're right. Okay, I would agree with that. Yeah.
It's an economic like necessity basically.
Yeah.
But it's also
not a
but that's
decision.
also true for white people though. It's saying like what you said is like well, white women stay home. Not really.
Yeah.
Asian women
And so
stay
I
home,
think we
not
should
really.
examine kind of what the current state is and not what it was when they were going off to war and things like that. You guys are talking about like World War II days. That isn't the case anymore.
Well, those things that sent men off to war are because of this aggression that and all the other physicality that men have more, and that's why these things still have like these things still have effects on culture, even if we're not at bar, and that is men being more being more aggressive and blah blah blah.
Damn,
Ooh,
I thought it was
something-
because someone decided to assassinate Archduke Franz Ferdinand. I thought that's why we had 2 world wars.
Yeah,
No,
I
but
actually
why
something
are
Gambit
men
said.
being drafted?
I wasn't explaining. Wait, I wasn't explaining why we had a world war.
Get
I
it.
was
Let's
explaining
not
why
get into this.
it's
Let's not get into
men
this.
that go to war.
Oh,
Don't be snappy, JSU.
Wait,
Don't
let
be
me,
yeah.
wait a second. Like on topic, something you said early on in the conversation that I thought was like super, well not super, but I think come from a toxic place, whether we admit it or not, is you were just saying that men should like strive to out earn their wife. I think that's like
That's not what he said.
competition in the household.
That is what he said.
I thought you said out, like earn as much as possible.
They should strive to be the provider. Was his exact words? I remember.
Yeah,
I wrote it down.
provider. That doesn't mean strive to out earn your wife.
No. Wait. You don't. I'm here. Absolutely, I would say men should strive to out earn that.
But what is our working definition of provider?
Why? But like what? Wait, hold on.
No, before we get
Why
into
would
the
you-
why, because I think he's fairly explained why. I feel like they had an ample time to explain why, and they've done it multiple times on different panels.
No, but I just think
I would say
that's just because I brought it up. I just think it's
Alright,
toxic to. No, I think it's really toxic to like to think of your households as like a competition in that way. Like to think that like your manhood is like your masculinity isn't met because of the amount.
You're changing my argument.
Yeah.
You're now there's 2 arguments, right? An argument can be made to say, hey, men are good or bad if they earn less than their mate. I'm not making that argument. I'm saying that men should strive to make the most. I'm not saying that men that don't make the most are bad or any immoral claim to them. I'm just saying that men should strive to earn more.
That is competing, though.
That's different from the toxicity that you're talking about.
Not really.
If you use the
Not
word
really.
should,
Just because
if you use the word
just
should,
because,
then that means then at
yeah.
that point, then there is something.
You set
better
up
or
scribe.
better.
Yeah, it's a competitive thing,
though.
and you shouldn't be
Just
competing
because-
with your
yeah.
partner.
But he's talking about utility, not moral
But
aspiration.
it's not even utility. If you make $100,000 and your wife makes $150,000, like you have a household that's taken care
You
of.
should
at that
still
point.
strive for 170.
No,
That's what he says.
No, this is
If she
This
makes
is why I-
171, I'm gonna make 172.
This is what you're not understanding. What you're not understanding
Can't
is
have her
this.
out here showing.
No,
me
we fully
No,
understand.
you
That's
don't
why
understand because I said this earlier. You're not understanding this point.
Yeah.
It's like when somebody is injured or can't work, for example, when your wife is pregnant, right? You still need to be making more than enough for the both of you.
Yeah, but that
Just
doesn't
in
mean
case-
doesn't mean you're making more than her.
Huh?
Just-
If you
can
need
make-
to be making more than enough for
You need to be making enough so that her loss of income, your family doesn't fall apart.
correct,
Exactly.
but that's a very different thing than like making more.
No, it's based in that's why men should earn more.
Yeah.
No,
but
it's
no,
not.
that's-
no,
no,
here's a
If you
caveat.
earn more, you're gonna live to a mean that has to have her income.
That's his
And if
steel
now
man
she's
argument.
pregnant,
I think that the distinction that they're trying to make, right? That Bam is trying to make is that you both could be high owners, right? So like, you could make $200,000,
I like that.
right? And
I
that
like
could
that
be,
shit.
as a man, could be enough to
Support whatever
hold
y'all's
the
lifestyle
family,
is.
right? Take care of the family, right? But a Black American maid is saying that like she can make $300,000, right? And just because you don't happen to be earning as much as she does, doesn't mean that you can't take care of the family if you lose her income, right? You can,
yes,
obviously take care of people on $200,000. You're saying you have to strive. So their
wait.
is on you.
In
saying
most
you
cases,
must have to strive.
hold on, wait,
to be more.
because I want to make sure I want y'all to bite this bullet because this is like laughable to me. Do you think most families can stay in the same level of support if one of the members of that family loses their salary and it's the person that makes more? Do you think that most families are financially secure enough to take the loss of the person that's making the most completely losing their income? Y'all know this is not true.
Sure,
So
but
when
most
you
people,
say she's gonna make more,
but
and
the person that's
giving
making the
out
least
this
can't.
fake, hold on, you're giving out this fake situation where her salary goes away, but the family's still fine because he was making X. That's not gonna happen. Your expenses and your lifestyle.
How long is this person out of work? What job are they making where they're making sufficient enough money for both people, where both people are both working, and this woman gets pregnant, and finances are all of a sudden just out the fucking. We have no way of surviving because you can't work for what 3 months in the last trimester if you decide, and you can maybe even decide to work even. Wait, are you? Oh wait, are we gonna wait? Please stop the fake outrage. Stop the fake outrage. Are we gonna act like pregnant women don't work until like a little later than they used to? Are we gonna pretend like we don't have like the best medical system in the fucking almost in the world, and like we have people who can like literally have shit? They work as long as they can. They're not gonna literally stop working at like 4 months pregnant. It's not gonna happen.
We're talking about what's preferable. We're talking about what's preferable. You don't want your wife to work while she's pregnant, and
it's not about wants.
It's not. Yeah.
What are you talking about?
It's about what is.
Say something
It's
real
about
quick.
the fact that she has to work because we have abysmal, parental leave.
It sounds like if your wife, is pregnant and your finances are out of whack in your house because of it, then you guys need to fucking look at your books better and make sure that you can actually have a fucking pregnancy.
Most families can't afford 500. Hold on, wait, because this is like stupid. Most families can't afford like an emergency $500 bill, but y'all are saying, oh, they can support the breadwinner just losing their job. This shit is so stupid.
I don't know
who said that.
Stop for a second. Okay, look, this is like a simple math problem we're talking about here, right? This is literally all
50%
is a fucking
Sounds like a savings problem.
So like, look,
Deadass.
I think the problem here is that you're mixing different problems together, right?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Specifically, the thing that Chieshu, that people had objection to is that necessarily that the husband must strive to make more, right? On that single point, then the conversation has sprouted into all kinds of different directions.
No, but that's why. No.
Wait, let him finish. Wait a second, Gavin.
Yeah. It sprouted to all different points, right? And one of those points now has been brought up is like the state of the American middle and working class. And that, and you're correct, right? That so many people can't afford a $500 emergency, right? Like that's true, right?
Yes.
And that the loss of one person within that household is often devastating,
regardless if they're the breadwinner.
Yeah, but they weren't talking about that when they were making up.
But that's what I was talking about.
Yeah, I get that, but that's not what they were talking about. So we're talking past each other, right?
No, we're not. No, we're not. Y'all just have like, I don't know what's wrong with y'all brains. No. Ask the question, Prime, on why I think males should earn more. What do you think my answer is? Why do you think males should earn more?
Welcome to all black everything.
To take care of the family, right? So there is a loss of income, right? He can keep the family whole and housed, right? Yeah.
Can I just also make a point that something about someone, like a few of you were shocked that women work up until like they're basically bursting.
No, that's not what we're shocked.
Wait, you guys didn't react like what?
Yeah. I mean, you know what my reaction was to? What was my reaction to?
Hold on.
What was my reaction?
She's about to take the straw man that nobody said.
Shut up.
Dream. It's not a hockey game.
We got to
let her waste time. Go ahead.
I want to say that I think a lot of men think that women are incapable of working when they're pregnant, and they entirely are. So it's not actually as big of a deal as people think it is. I'm just gonna put that out there.
They want to put in the prescription.
Hold on. Let me say the real shit, because I knew y'all were gonna do the stupid shit. We're not talking about women can't work for long periods of time until they get until they have birth, right? A lot of women are gonna work 6-7 months, whatever. But what we're talking about is life after that. That was why we said, but of course y'all gonna go for the straw man. But listen. So Riri,
no, because maternity leave is a part of that, right? Because you're losing one person
after the birth. Yes, and then some people may not want to go back into the job sphere working the same amount that they worked before they had kids. This is why. If you listen to Kevin Samuels, you listen to him say, "Hey, do you want to work to pay significant bills?"
I don't listen to Kevin Samuels.
Hold on. Now the stupidity has reverted upon the source.
Why the fuck would I do that?
I'm gonna finish that. The point wasn't if you listen to Kevin Samuels. If you listen to me, what I was talking about was if you listen to the black women that respond to Kevin Samuels on whether or not they want to work to pay significant bills after they have kids, overwhelmingly the answer is they don't want to have to support the household in a primary or secondary position. So all of that culture is why men need to earn more.
Okay, all right, so
that's cute.
I feel like that's a very small sample size. It's like easily manipulated.
It is not. It's absolutely not.
We've been on this. mad problem for a bit, right? And I kind of went past it, right?
It's
So,
cute.
I wanted to focus in because the reason why I thought of this question was specifically, there was I was watching a show or something, right? And someone said that their girlfriend, girlfriend proposed to them, right? And like that's what set me down this rabbit hole, right? Some people were uncomfortable with that idea of being proposed to by a woman, and like, and you got to remember what this looks like what if, or what it might look like, right? Like, imagine yourself in public, right, at a restaurant, and she gets down on one knee and presents a ring to you.
What? First of all, no woman should be getting down on their knee for a man. That was the first thing.
I mean, they should do it quite often.
That is quite sexist.
You go get your man.
I think they should be on their knees often.
Jesus Christ!
That was her first mistake. She got to do better.
But like
some women lay down,
presenting in front of your friends and family, right? Like, hey, like, will you marry me? So a lot of that seems to make you all uncomfortable. Why?
Not me.
That's absolutely great. Imagine the love of your life proposes to you. Oh my God! Thank you. I love you too. Yes.
That don't make me uncomfortable.
I gotta be honest. I'm kind of like, I don't give a shit what other people do. Like, if that's what you want to do, like, I mind my own business. That's how I feel.
Would you do
like,
it yourself?
I just don't like. That's not my relationship. I don't care.
Well,
like,
no, but he's asking you for you.
Yeah.
For me, like, if I was gonna propose to a man, no, I'm not getting down on no knee. Like,
why?
no.
Why?
You would propose to a man?
What if you
First of all,
him?
I'm the wrong person to be asking, because getting married for me isn't the end all be all in a relationship. Okay, so for me, I don't have traditional ideas of what.
Yeah, but you can answer the question, would you propose?
Would you get married? Would you get married?
No. Would you propose?
There's the question. There's the question. So here's the thing. I don't have inclination to get married right now, and so no, I would not propose to anyone.
But you're not against marriage.
Right? I'm not fully against marriage, no, but I can be in a long-term relationship without being married.
I agree. And when it comes to the marriage point, since you're not against it, would you propose?
Yes.
No, I probably wouldn't.
Why?
Okay, cool. Why?
Because marriage isn't that important to me as it is to other people.
There's tons of financial benefits from getting married.
Yeah.
There's tons.
I don't need the financial benefits.
But she said, listen,
I want to ask somebody. Okay. Hold on, let me
she
ask.
said she.
Okay.
Bring it on. It's Tatiana, right?
Oh hell yeah, another woman. Let's go.
What was her name?
Yeah.
Hey.
So the question is, Halo, hi to see you. Nice to see you again, Bam's girlfriend. Would you propose to a man, or would it be Bam or someone else, right?
What was let's not call her Bam's girlfriend. What was her name?
Exactly. Yeah. Thank you, Azzy.
Tatiana, right?
Apologies.
Put some respect on it.
I remember names.
Thank you.
Yes. Yeah. Look at y'all.
The question is, would I propose to a man?
Yeah.
No.
Why?
Why not?
Because I'm not that desperate.
Because she would propose to a woman.
Whoa. So Bam is desperate to propose to you?
Let's go.
Is Bam desperate
to
propose to you?
No, this is
No,
the double.
If he...
Stranger things!
Hold on. Oh my gosh, shut up. I want to hear what she has to say. Tatiana.
Listen.
Females know when we're ready to propose. We just wait on y'all to be ready when y'all want to propose.
I'm ready now. I know too.
Then propose to your girl if you don't want
to. But why shouldn't you?
She wants to get a degree first, but it doesn't matter. Men know want to get married too. Like, we know too.
Yeah. What if you guys have already talked? What if you've already talked? You've had discussion that like marriage is on the table. You guys would love to do it, right? Just a matter of when, right?
Right.
And then, but you go ahead, right? And you take the initiative and decide, I'm gonna propose. What's wrong with that?
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. If a female wants to propose, then that's on her. But me, I'm not proposing.
But why?
Why not you? Yeah.
You say you're desperate, but you really you think you're desperate to your boyfriend for it?
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying I'm desperate to him. I'm just saying I'm not finna force that on him. Be like, hey, I'm ready to get married now.
What do you think marriage is?
No. Listen. Don't twist her words. She understands the male ego, so she's not gonna just lay on him a whole. Let me get down on my knee and destroy his whole reality.
As do you think people just bluntly do that?
And
yeah, a lot of people do it. I know a lot of people.
And that's not smart. Would you agree that's not smart?
It's not about being smart. It's individual choice.
Okay, all right, so
It's foolish in
well,
some
well,
aspects. It
I just-
depends on the man.
I just want to get this through this while we have Tatiana here, right? Tatiana, like, so you're saying that you'd be forcing this on Bam. Like, let's use Bam as an example. You'd be forcing it on him, right? But if he proposed to you, he wouldn't be forcing marriage on you.
No, I'm saying I made the choice, the decision in this time. I want to get married, so I'm gonna get him a ring proposed to him. But if we made a decision together, then we go together, we get the ring, and it's up to him to decide when he want to give me that ring. We've already talked about it. I'm just waiting for him to surprise me, with the ring.
What if you both? Okay, sorry. What if you both went to the store together? You got bands together, right? Only you took the initiative and did it first. So at this point, you're both on the same level. At some point, it's going to happen. You're on the same level. No one's being forced into it.
What is this
Why
level?
can't you do it yourself? Why can't you propose first?
I feel like that's a power move.
That you can't make.
I mean,
But
both of you could make it.
You're an adult, right? I know you take charge in other parts of your life. Why not this part?
I don't know. That's just weird. That just doesn't. It just does not sound something that I would do.
It's not right.
We live in
Is
the
it, is
Western
it,
world. Come
is
on.
it, is it not something, do you feel like, I'm not trying to like, be in bad faith here, but do you feel like it's a question of like, sort of heteronormativity necessarily? Like this is just something that we as a
make
society...
things so
Yes.
academic. This isn't that. This is a
What
sociological.
the fuck do you want? We're supposed to get deep into these issues. We're on a panel. What kind of question is that, Ozzy? Now, anyways, like I was asking, do you think that this would be something that this is like something
Y'all like
that
each
us
other?
as a society,
Y'all know each other?
that us as a society has just perceived or created to be like normal, basically? Like the men are supposed to be the ones that go and propose all the time, not the women. Okay.
So you would agree that you're
like gender
brainwashed or
roles.
something?
Okay.
Am I brainwashed?
Yeah, by the gender roles. You're like, I
mean,
have to
guess
do it this
in
way.
a sense, I guess.
Marriage
I'm
isn't
brainwashed.
important to everyone, though. I think it's important to remember that people
around here.
who like
You don't
commitment
get it. You see these pretty little clothes. you
love
got on?
commitment and not necessarily like the marriage thing. There could be a lot of reasons for that, like their upbringing. I think
Exactly.
ultimately at the
Upbringing
end of
is
the
a great
day,
factor.
marriage unfortunately has become sullied by the high divorce rate that someone mentioned in chat. So for me, getting married isn't as enticing for me as someone being like, I want to be committed to you and I want to be loyal to just you and like be
Do
in
you
a
think the
monogamous
stats on
relationship.
those relationships are better than marriages? Do you think those people break up less?
I would love to know,
Yeah,
honestly.
but I don't think
I would
that's a
love
good
to know.
argument because stats don't matter on an individual level. It really
Yeah,
doesn't.
and
go
we're
down that route.
asking me and me.
Wait, well,
I'm
then I
like,
think-
marriage is
sorry.
just not important, so I wouldn't do it.
No,
you know.
Talking to a modern
maybe
woman,
stats don't matter.
what are you doing?
Stats
then I
don't matter.
Fanatic.
I think at that point with
Fanatic.
this,
Stats don't matter on an individual level, but what stats
Okay,
do
first,
what the purpose of the stats is kind of to help you to determine the value system or how people
Mhm.
overall that value things. And we all recognize that, like for the
Yeah.
vast majority of people on the planet, like they value marriage as sort of a prerequisite for certain.
Do they
levels of
value
commitment.
marriage or do they value commitment and loyalty?
I know what I was saying.
Thank you.
What I was saying, if you would have let me finish the sentence, is that they value marriage as sort of a prerequisite for certain levels of commitment. We know
That's
this to be
exactly what
true.
you said before, but okay.
Right, but then your question doesn't seem like it really takes that into
It's
consideration.
not a question, it was a statement.
No,
your
because
question was
what
verbatim: do they value marriage or do they just value commitment? So that question,
You're asking me that?
No,
that's what
asked
you
them.
asked.
Oh, I did ask that.
Are
that's
you
right.
following the conversation?
let's
To
just
be
move
honest
forward.
with
Let's
you,
be.
all I hear is y'all
Listen,
arguing with each other.
I deal with
One
children.
ear and out
I
the
deal
other.
with
Anyway, I'll go ahead
When
and
I
okay,
hear
good. I
people
get it. It
yelling,
is
I'm
going on. I wanna
immediately
hear it.
like, doo-doo.
I
deal
wasn't
with
yelling at you. I
children
was speaking.
12
and you
hours
just
a
kept
day,
interjecting
and we
over and over
please
again.
have-
But it's okay. Anyway, my point being that obviously when it comes to most people that they recognize that marriage is a prerequisite for certain levels of commitment. So while you can say, I just want to show that a person is committed to me, in most cases, in order to find out that commitment is there, you're going to need the marriage. So that's why I think the value of marriage
I don't
is
agree with
more
that.
than...
I don't think you need the marriage to
No,
confirm
All right,
commitment.
I look forward to you raising a D1
Right.
athlete as a single mother. Go ahead.
like,
What you
say-
do?
what?
And you're assuming that I want to raise a
whoa.
D1 athlete. Like, you're assuming a lot
What?
about me.
That
but
was a
okay.
joke.
Hold on.
It's just a shot,
This
but
goes back to the
that
thing
was
I
a-
was saying earlier
I'm
about
not
how
going to
we
dwell
like.
on this. I'm
about
not
how
going
we're
to dwell
like-
on this. plenty of single women have raised
Athletes
extremely
or just talented people.
talented.
Yeah.
And,
That's true.
that's
There's also
the point.
women who don't
That's the
aspire to
point.
that.
Y'all
I don't get that point.
That's
Single-
He was saying that you're gonna be.
I feel
it's
like that
inevitable
was
you
like-
will be. He's saying it's inevitable that you will be single with a child, right?
I feel like
If
I
you
also
did
want
say
to
that. He
I
did
also
say
want to
that.
point out.
Wait,
So, see,
The
I-
argument-
I-
Did your stats
also
play
wanna-
that as
I
well?
also wanna point
That
out-
assumption?
Hold on. Shit.
Okay.
So he was saying that it's inevitable that you will be single and pregnant, like with a child, if you are working outside the bounds of marriage, right? That it gives a person an out. Am I incorrect, Fanatic, in what I was saying?
People have an out
Yeah, it
regardless,
was
even with marriage.
basically yes. In so many words, it's basically this: that
People
who
always have
chil-
an out.
Lord, she's just gonna always overtalk me every single time. What I was basically
Because what you're saying
what
is
I was,
just
what I was
wrong.
basically,
You wanna talk,
what I was
Fanatic.
basically,
You
what I was-
want to talk.
What I was basically,
Everyone overtalked over me, but when I overtalk over other people,
I
oh
hadn't
my God, you're
overtalked
so
you a single
aggressive.
time.
Oh,
I hadn't
oh.
overtalked you a single time. I've been on mute 90% of this. So anyway, what I was saying was basically that people who have children outside of wedlock are significantly more likely to end up being single mothers in the long term, and end up having to raise a child by themselves. And so I'm saying if she has this mentality,
You got a stat for that?
and she. If
Yeah,
you need a
there's
stat for
plenty of
that, I'm not
stats.
having that
Yeah,
conversation
come on,
with you.
come on.
But
Wait,
if
who
said that?
I'm curious. Do you have a stat for that, or is this just out your ass like everything else?
Eli, please, this is common knowledge.
If you are going to be looking to be raising your child in a committed relationship, if anyone's 4-year-olds, you can't shut the hell up when I'm talking. Anyway, so the point is, if you're looking for a commitment and you're using and you're looking for people and expecting them to be just as committed without marriage, then yeah, and you're willing to have children, expecting that commitment to last. We obviously recognize that non-monogamous, non-marriage monogamous relationships are significantly more likely to end in separation. So if that's the case, then you're probably going to end up raising your child by yourself.
Didn't say
marriages are more likely
non-monogamous.
to
I
live.
said specifically monogamous. But
I'm sorry.
continue.
I meant monogamous, non-married relationships. I'm sorry. I misspoke there. So married, married, monogamous. Okay. Non-married relationships.
Yeah.
You done got him all
Yeah. So
riled
you,
up.
like people who are single and want to be monogamous but are not married, they're more likely to end up in separation.
Yes.
You see
feel
what it,
And everybody knows
I feel
that.
like this kind of goes back to like what I was saying earlier about how like men kind of just talk over women when women are trying to,
What?
give their
This
piece
nigga's
on
a simp
things.
like I've
Oh,
never seen.
God!
I'm not a simp. It's just you guys saw this entire panel prove the
Hold
point
on,
that
hold
I made
on.
earlier about how
You better
we as
try
men
and call on him, right?
always talk
Eli,
over
before you sip,
women.
To
before
be
you sip,
fair,
you're
y'all
right.
talk over each other too.
Hold on, Monty.
Oh,
Monty, we are given
crossover.
opportunity to talk
That's
over
what we
And that's
said
why
earlier.
you're
What are you
probably
talking
as
about?
men.
Hilariously enough, that's what we said.
This is terrible. Y'all do need to like talk. This is crazy.
Hold on.
Chill out.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on,
Never
y'all.
laugh.
Eli tried to simp, and then she elucidated the point that we told him earlier.
Yeah,
That's hilarious.
literally. That's so funny.
Are we gonna just ignore the fact that she said that like she was still being talked over by
She was trying to talk over
and
Fanatic.
how
when-
earlier when she wanted to make her point, wasn't it Fanatic who called
It's
her
not gonna work for you,
snappy?
I don't think simping is gonna work with Riri.
I'm not
Okay.
simping. Just
Listen, all y'all are snappy in my
Eli,
eyes.
Eli, the point we're
I'm
saying.
not-
I
snappy in
came
my
in here,
eyes.
I was like,
nigga,
several
Eli,
black
don't need to
men,
stamp.
BBC convention, let's
There's
go.
My nigga, Eli.
Number one, Monty, shut up because you
Eli.
definitely cut me off in the middle of my statement, and I didn't hear nobody get called snappy. So
Eli,
let's not
we
be
call-
all
we called
equal.
you
Let's be all
racist,
fair and
Adam.
stuff. No, let's
Since
since we want to be all let's be real. All y'all cut each other off all the time.
Yeah.
Like, for
Slappy is
real.
mild. Slappy is mild. We're calling y'all worse than Slappy.
Yeah, but like
Just-
ain't nobody
just-
coming to each other's defense. You don't need to come to Riri defense. She fine.
I'm not coming to anybody's offense. I'm just stating my point like I stated earlier.
Why are you
But,
being
like,
antagonistic? Listen, let's
I
move
feel like
forward.
if we being completely honest
so
about that
let's
point.
go ahead and move forward. Let's go ahead and move forward. Yeah, let's do that.
Because I'm gonna say if we being
Yeah, let's go ahead and move forward. Yeah.
No, look, Eli simping her DM be like, yeah, I'm so mad that they was talking to me. Do that shit
I'm
later.
not
bro.
simping. I'm
Riri
just
got-
saying.
No.
I'm just saying how y'all proved my point, but
No,
okay.
we
I'm saying
You know what? I
we're-
have to be honest right now. listen, like y'all were talking over each other in general.
Exactly.
Y'all called each other snappy. I'm just saying, like, in general, y'all have been disrespectful to each other. It's not
Thank
just
you.
me, and I'm not gonna make it like it's just me. Okay.
And why are men
agree with
so
that too.
disrespectful? Why are men who have such egos who demand respect are so disrespectful? Especially
Because
on
we
a
don't
platform.
suffer any consequences for it, really.
No,
I don't think we
stop.
suffer as many
Okay,
consequences.
Did you not see
Alright,
Chris Rock get slapped into eternity?
Oh my
What are you
God!
talking
Wow.
We're
about?
not
When was
editing
the last
each other.
time that happened?
Wow. Okay. Pause for a second. Okay.
You guys are
so
just
we got
insane.
we ran out of time for this topic. We're gonna move on to our next. Before then, though, we're gonna unfortunately lose someone. Our man Fanatic has to step out, so I want to give Fanatic an outro. Thank you, Fanatic, for coming through, bringing the fire like you always do. Right, we've been missing it here. So Fanatic, please tell the world about yourself.
So, my name is Fanatic, aka Mr. Fanatic, everywhere. My music is under the name Fanatic. Anyway, I run I stream at twitch.tv/Mr. Fanatic, and I do music for a living. You can find all my music on every platform under the name Fanatic. I also run the Fanatic panel on Wednesdays, and I also run the Nigga panel on Tuesdays from 5 to 7, and I think 5:30 to 8:30 on Wednesdays. Sometimes we try to like aim for 2 weeks. For 2 hours. Prime was there on the last panel, on the Nigga panel, and it went incredibly well. And it's only intelligent people who are actually willing to have conversations and not just scream and yell and act like idiots over everyone. Next week we have really great guests lined up. We have Trihex, Low Tier God, ABBA, from ABBA and Preach,
Whoa.
and a few more guests. And we're going to be discussing some pretty hot topics. You guys can check that out on the YouTube channel, Ask Fanatic.
I'm gonna have to see that.
I just hope you guys would check that out. I appreciate you guys all for letting me be part of this conversation, specifically Prime. It has been entirely too long. Obviously, I love All Black Everything because this is one of the best panels that are on all of Twitch. Pick black folks, pick niggas. I love you guys, and I will probably try to be here next week.
All right.
I'm trying to get on that nigga panel.
All right, peace out.
True.
Dream, you ain't nowhere near that panel, bro. You ain't over everybody, bro.
One day. I can't dream. As dream?
We can all dream. We can all dream. We can all dream. All right, we're moving forward. Oh, okay. So, everyone, if you are enjoying this content, if you just arrived here, right, to this insanity, that is All Black Everything Roundtable, right? Hit that follow button. Hit that follow button right now. Make sure notifications are on so you know I'm going live. We do this 7 nights a week. We're always around, either here or on YouTube. Check us out. We always got more content for you.
I love you guys.
So hit that follow button. Hit us up on our social media. We got !social in chat. We have Twitter where we tweet things out. If you're missing what's happening on the channel and you're not on our Twitter, so hit us up on Twitter. We got Discord. Discord where everything happens, including Open Walk On panel, which we'll have right after this, right? So even after this panel, we still got more content for you. So hit us up on Twitter, or on Discord. And YouTube is where you find the VODs, right? So like, comment, subscribe. If you missed anything, check out our YouTube. Consider becoming a YouTube member, hitting that join button to help us out again. And if you're really enjoying the content, throw us a sub, right? You get us ad-free viewing, and you'll get our emotes, exclamation emotes in chat. We get all that. So support this channel, support this community. If you like this content, and we keep giving you more of it, then help us keep it around. All right. So we are going to move forward to our next topic. All right. When comparing two political candidates with similar positions, is it fair to pick the black candidate just because they are black? What if the black one has significantly worse platform or history? So I got to thinking about candidates of the past, and look, the big one was Obama, right? A lot of people said they voted for Obama because he was black. I want to know, is that okay? Right? I want to explore this, and especially when things are mixed. I think things were easier in that particular race between Obama and. At least in the primaries, Obama and Clinton, right? So I'm curious where you guys all land on this. All right, so we'll start with Bam, please.
Generally, yeah, it's super. Generally speaking, is like if all else is equal, pick black. Well, at least in my interest as a black person, that's what I would stick. In cases where it's not equal, like obviously you should go with a better candidate. For example, I'm not voting for Tim Scott. Like that, I don't think that serves the interests of black people generally. But no, I don't think it's wrong for black people to just because of our financial and political position in this country, to prioritize blackness in a way that's different from a lot of other communities try to prioritize things. I think I think blackness can be extremely crucial to people's politics. So, yeah, that's the long and short of it.
Eli.
Yeah, so I think that when you have like two candidates of equal caliber, I think it is good to go ahead and do the what affirmative action set out to do, instead of giving it to predominantly white women. Actually, yeah, choose the black candidate. I feel like, especially considering how black people have had to navigate, the how should I say, workforce, and how oftentimes we've been denied jobs, we've been denied promotions, solely because we are black, to kind of, even that out, especially if you don't want to talk about, reparations. I know a lot of people, don't want to talk about reparations, what have you. One of the best ways in which you can kind of even things out is put black people in more, give black people more opportunities to, work and stuff like that. Yeah, if the two candidates are of equal caliber, yeah, pick black.
Yes, you.
Yo, so yeah, I've told a lot of people before that I only voted for Obama because he was black. It was a really selfish reason to want to see a black man in that position, in the hopes that changed like sociological things that made more opportunity for me later. The problem that I find is when it comes to other races, a lot of them are fearful of admitting that there's like in-group biases, and they're not willing to say, hey, I like certain people because they're white or Asian or whatever the race tends to be. So I think it's only problematic when people are afraid to admit that they have some in-group biases. And I think people should be aware of those, and they should work to rectify them in situations like what you said in the latter half is, what if they have a significant worse platform? I think that's a really bad thing. I wouldn't ever I don't think I would ever vote for somebody black with a significantly worse platform just because they were black. I thought Hillary Clinton was trash, so I loved Obama because he was black, but I also thought Hillary was trash. But yeah, so I think that it's fine to acknowledge that we have in-group biases. I think we should be open and honest about those and maybe try to work to solve those. But at this point in where we are in American history, I think it's advantageous for us in our youth to see black people in positions of power in the hope that gives them inspiration and hope. Blah, blah, blah.
Jamali.
Oh, fuck. I went to go drink of water. Dream, go.
Okay. I think.
All right, I'm kidding. I'm done. All right, so.
Okay.
So, obviously, the biases that people face for people who look like them exist in all human beings and all parts of the world. The people have a particular, bias that they want people who are looking similar to them, at the very least, at the base level, in charge of their government for the most part. If they're equal, there's probably something that I know we're working within a hypothetical here, but like part of me is just like, there's no political candidates that can be completely like equal on the same things. Otherwise they wouldn't be running against each other in like something, unless they were in the same party that was extremely narrow in terms of their views. But yeah, pick. Sure, I would pick black. I wouldn't care. I wouldn't give a shit. Like, pick whoever's gonna do the best job. That's who I care about. And if two people are equal and there's one black person and there's one white person, I don't know. I'll throw a fucking dart at the board or something. I think maybe I'll just check something off just blindfolded. Okay. I don't care.
Dream.
I think when most people say they voted for Obama because they're black, I think they're oversimplifying their answer, or they're just flat out lying to themselves. Because they probably wouldn't vote for Obama if Obama was Republican, and I imagine like Hillary Clinton.
Well, think about the primaries, like the primaries, right? Between him and Clinton. That's what like.
Yeah, I was about to go talk about that right now. And the thing about Hillary Clinton was that she was a horrible person. Like obviously, Obama was gonna win. Like,
because Obama was a way better person. Like he's not only just black, but he's also a good person. Like I don't think people would have voted for him if he was morally worse than Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton? No, thank you. I don't think black people will put that on their conscience to vote a morally worse person than Hillary Clinton. No, that's not what black people would do. So I think people are just lying to themselves when they say that. Obama was a good candidate, not just because he's black, but he was a good candidate. And that's why they voted for him. And it was a great thing that he's black too. So that was what happened. What I think. Also, when it comes to candidates similar positions, is it fair to pick the black candidate? I think, sure. I don't see why not. Like, I don't think that's inherently a bad thing at all. But obviously, if somebody has a worse history or background, then it's obviously smart not to do that. But let's say they have the same history, similar platform. I would pick the one, not just because they're black, but whoever has the best personality. Like, I like personalities. Like, if I can relate to you as a candidate, I will pick you better. If you're just like, doesn't matter if you're black, if you're boring, if you're lame, compared to like a very hip white person or Latino person and cool and relatable, I'll pick that person over you if you have the same position and same history. I think in personality and relatability matters more. Charisma matters in politics, so I would pick that person over if everything was equal.
Azzy, please.
This is an interesting one. I probably would not vote. Well, just because someone has it depends on what you mean by worse platform than somebody who is non-white. I feel like people just vote for their values. If you have this, if your platform is along the lines of what somebody is looking for when you're in office, they're gonna vote for that person. So, I mean, I guess I understand what you mean by this is a leftist space, so I know what you mean. So probably nah, but I would say it's heavily dependent upon the person. Like if anything, if people just voted for people just because they were black, they would have voted for Kanye or even better, Cory Booker. They didn't. And then if anything, what's his name? Raphael Warnock. If they had known, maybe if because he clearly came out a lot of he's a minister, right? But then he came out that he's pro-choice. A lot of Christian black folk probably wouldn't have voted for him if they had known before. I'm not privy to the information. Maybe he was pro-choice, but that was one of his running. I have no idea. Yeah, bruh, but if you're just like outright like a gangster, just like a mob boss running for president, yeah, I'm not gonna vote for you. Be black, be blue, be purple. It doesn't matter.
And finally, Ruby.
So I don't believe in voting for people just because they're black, simply because being black doesn't mean you're pro-black. We've seen that with Kamala Harris. We've seen that with Maxine Waters. Yeah, I'm not going to trust any politician to lead with that as their campaign. But in the case of Obama, I think people were obviously very tired of the right-wing conservatism leading. And so I think we flip-flop a lot. I think it was more so the fact that he was a Democrat, and black people notoriously will vote for Democrats over Republicans. I think there were a lot of factors socially happening as well that aided in that. And I think, to someone's point earlier, people look to vote for people who are charismatic and match their values. But I think it's very dangerous to vote based on personality, because a lot of their personalities are contrived to pander to who they know will vote for them. I don't trust any politician. I trust what they stand for. And I think ultimately that's what people should be looking at when the platforms and their values are more important to me than what they look like, how charismatic they are, like their religion. Like, these are all things that I know people vote based on, and I think are dangerous.
I think you should.
I just want hold on.
I'm
Hold on.
already a fan of yours because you managed to trigger my man Bam by saying Kamala Harris.
There's no Kamala no Kamala slander is allowed tonight.
Kamala put my
really
dad in
think-
jail.
There's
Man,
no
don't
Kamala
play,
Harris
don't
slander.
play like
I got
black
it,
people would have been all unified behind Kamala. Let's not play these games.
No, they
Period.
wouldn't have, but that's
Period.
an issue. I don't. The only thing you said that was true outside of that disgusting slander was the fact that like I think I was lying when I gave my answer. I don't actually believe in I don't think I have a strong interest in the person being black. I think I do have a stronger interest in pro-blackness. So that means like not necessarily are you black. That's like who are the members of your team? What ways are you are catering towards the black community? So that's like, and that's not like pander. I don't care about pandering. Like the fact that Bernie went on what is it, the Breakfast Club meant nothing to me. But like, are you dealing with are you visiting like the black pastors? Are you meeting with the black pastors? Are you going to predominantly black states and meeting in communities where black people are? Those things are the things that I prioritize.
No, how is that?
I just
pandering?
associate those things to being generally black people.
I just want to make that distinction. Like, how is going on the Breakfast Club, which is like a massive like radio show that black people listen to, right? How is that pandering? But then talking to black pastors is not.
Because
that's not public. It's different.
Wait,
Like,
no, what?
It's not even about that. It's not even
It's
about that.
not-
I
I mean,
expect the
for me
politician to be
personally.
public, but I think that
That's not what
that was-
pandering is.
That was the entirety of his like
Both are
black
pandering.
interaction.
No, it wasn't. But okay, all right. Well, I won't have
Hold on,
to
wait.
get pretty.
I want to attack something that Dream said. Because maybe Dream, maybe you were too young to vote. I absolutely voted for Obama because he was black. He was like people.
But he was
that, like, they're
Democrat too,
stupid.
though. Like that's what I'm saying. He's black
Yeah,
and Democrat. You're saying
none of that matter. None of that.
okay.
matter.
Well, I then I
None of
think
that
maybe
matter at
you're
all.
you're maybe a rare exception. That
No, not
I
at
don't
all.
think-
No, like
I-
Jeezy made my president is black. Everybody black was gonna vote for Obama then, and I think
even
it's
if it was a
because
Republican candidate,
it doesn't matter. None of that matters. But
I disagree.
anyway,
But okay. There's no way we can deny.
well, maybe that does matter. Yeah, I
You know
can't
what?
say that doesn't matter.
I actually agree with GSU with this right
Hold on,
now.
wait. I'm gonna finish though.
Go ahead.
But like a lot of us were young, so we didn't understand shit like foreign. Like we weren't gonna look into Obama's foreign policy because none of us gave a fuck about that. Like everybody was
Don't
playing. My
speak for
president
me.
is black.
Speak for yourself. But continue.
Yeah,
I
I'm
went
talking
up to
about-
my
How old were you in
English.
2008,
I went up to
Riri?
my
I'm not
English
speaking for
101
you
teacher.
if you're not a part of the group that I'm talking about. I'm sorry if you weren't able to intellectualize that.
Do
So
not
anyway, back
speak
to what I was
for
saying.
me. Speak for yourself. I looked into.
Wait.
those things.
Listen.
Okay.
Wait, how old were you in
I'm not calling you
2008?
stupid. Listen, I'm
Much older than
specifically-
you must think I am.
No,
Let's-
I don't
let's
care
keep
about
that-
your age. I'm
No, I do.
specifically
I do
talking
think so.
about people that
Speak for
voted for him
yourself.
because he was black. If you weren't one of those people, idiot, then you're not a part of that group. I'm speaking about a certain group of people. So if you
That's,
are a part of that,
I don't think you
excuse
guys
yourself,
really
and you're
know
not
how to
actually a part of
debate
that.
without
Okay.
insulting
So anyway,
people.
so
No, they don't.
You should
Let's knock
probably
off-
learn some
if
more
you
respect.
endlessly interrupt me with stupid shit, I'm eventually.
I'm not
going down on
interrupting
it.
you. I'm
Let's-
debating.
Let's not
No,
do ad
no,
homs.
okay.
Let's
All
not. Let's
right.
knock
Anyway,
off ad homs.
Anyway,
Go ahead.
okay. Yeah, all right. So if you're done with the stupid shit, but anyway, yeah, like I was saying, so
Stupid
a lot of the
shit,
people
okay.
that were voted for Obama specifically because he was black. I don't think like we didn't care about his policy positions and all of that shit. It was all about, all right, we want to see a black man in the White House because we think so socially this is going to be good for black people.
Who is we?
The black
and you
community
hear-
generally.
and you
Don't
hear
get
people-
baited. Don't get baited. Come on,
Where's
bro.
your
You're a grown
stats
man.
to this, bro?
Wait,
But, like,
I'm
you-
gonna say,
You got
these
kids.
people-
hold on.
You
Hold on.
old
hold on.
enough?
You
Riri
Oh,
asked the
okay.
question.
You know.
Riri asked
You
the
know.
question, so I'm gonna
Please,
answer.
you
don't
told
get
I'm
these
gonna
baited.
say this for the fourth time because apparently
Please
this
don't.
Can I add
person
something to
can't
this?
fucking hear. I'm specifically talking about the masses of people that voted for him solely because he was black. I gave you the demographic group that I'm talking about. So when you ask who, that means that either you're ignorant or you're not listening. But you should
Come
fix
on,
that.
GSU. Don't get baited. Come
Can
on, man.
I add something to this, please?
You're fine. Eli, go ahead.
Come on,
No.
dog.
I kind of agree with like a lot of things that have been said so far, right? So like I do agree with GSU Gambit, right? Like there were black people who voted for Obama because think about it, like it's never happened before, right? That a black man, like we thought, oh, we have a shot, or that some of us thought that like a black candidate has a shot, and that because he's black, he might know our struggles, and that because he knows our struggles, he might try to make things better. But unfortunately, that's not really how things went.
Person to run for president.
Well, I know that. I'm saying the first time I feel like that a lot of people
The
were like,
motivation.
oh, yeah, the motivation. Yeah, thank you. But I also agree with what Ree was saying as well about how you also have to look at we can't throw out like policy and the fact that we do have to look at that. But I also understand that like a lot of people didn't care about that. So it's kind of like a catch-22 there. Like we didn't care. We were like, yeah, let's see if we can get a black man in the White House. Let's see if we can do that. But there's also a danger there. Like, is this black guy that we're promoting? Is he pro-black? There are a lot of black people who, if you were to put them,
there's a danger in any generalization and choosing someone based on the way they look.
Right.
Like, I can't believe this is even a debate. Like,
and then
really?
Wait, we're not debating that. That's
Oh
a
my
debate.
gosh.
You're so lost.
I'm almost.
Jesus.
You gotta bite the bullet, Riri. We're not talking about only based on race.
Can I?
You did though, Dream.
No,
you
I
literally said you voted on someone based on charisma and personality.
And when all things are equal, are you not getting that part?
Eli,
She can't hear sometimes.
Eli, finish your point.
When all things are equal.
I was gonna say, like, I think in a way when something like that happens, where like a demographic is like, yeah, let's get it. We could do this. This guy, we're gonna put him in his position of power. He's gonna change things. I think in a way that preaches to, and maybe I'm preaching in the choir here, that preaches to in a way sort of the desperation of that group and maybe the disempowerment of that group in a way. You know what I mean? So. I see both sides, and I see that there's good arguments on like both sides, and I think I understand both. That's my point.
And to be clear, I'm not saying people ought do this, and I'm even saying that what I did I feel like was irresponsible, but that is what happened. I'm speaking to exactly what happened in the minds of lots of people that were like, "Hey, I'm gonna solely vote on this based off race." I'm not saying that that's the correct thing to do. That's not how we should approach politics in any way. But that's absolutely what happened. A lot of people wanted the hope of, hey, a black guy running the country might make it better for us. Not saying that absolutely was what was going to happen. Just that's what a lot of people thought.
Obama did get
that wasn't the
95%.
question. The question was, is it fair? So I'm saying that it's not fair to do that.
Okay.
I don't think anybody disagrees. Well, oh wait a minute. Actually, I did disagree with that originally. Like I said, I think I lied in my original perspective. I do care about like how pro-black you are. I just assume the fact that usually that's going to come from someone in a black body. Like and like I said, that's not always the case. Like I said, I mentioned specifically I wouldn't vote for Tim Scott, but in the overwhelming majority of cases, if I look at two people's campaigns, which campaign is going to have a closer interest at the heart of the black people community, generally speaking, that it seems to be black people.
Like, and also, I just wanted to add, like, there are a ton of black people that are like famous and what have you, that if you were to put them up against like, a white candidate, or like if you were to put them up against like, I basically just wouldn't vote for him. Okay, like I would not vote for, let's say, Umar Johnson if he would have run. Hell no, I would not be voting for that motherfucker. I wouldn't vote for him. I wouldn't vote for Kanye. Not in a million fucking years. Like. And it's because I'm looking at who they are as people, and I'm already throwing them out before I even make a policy because I know most likely
no
it's going to be
Kanye
bad.
slander will be allowed.
Yeah, no Kanye slander. And what about The Rock?
Listen, fuck Kanye.
What about The Rock? Okay, you're not going to vote for The Rock?
Maybe there's an argument there.
You're not going to vote for Dwayne?
Y'all are just disrespectful.
Maybe there's an argument for The Rock. Maybe there's an argument.
Hold on, but hold on, wait, y'all. I think Kanye is a
Polish guy and YouTube chat. It depends on what your definition of gender is, because sex and gender can be two different things. Gender can be informed by sex, and gender can also be something that is individual to the person who describes himself as whatever gender they so please. So, I mean, you can't create a narrative for what other people experience. Keep that in mind.
Just with two different scenarios. We had already had a black president at the point of Kanye, so there's going to be less people that are energized. And then, like his presidency.
Can I finish what I was saying, or are you just?
Go ahead.
I'll let you finish. I'll give you the rights to finish.
Bitch, you bitch. Ooh.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Chill out.
What
bro.
is going on?
Jamali, you need to calm
Y'all
down.
are chemically imbalanced tonight. What's going on?
Oh my
happening?
god! You know what? Like,
Don't say y'all. It was one nigga.
Whoa, Jamali,
y'all,
what was
y'all,
that?
I don't know.
Gambit.
Like, get your
Don't yell
ganja
at
or
us. It was
whatever.
Jamali.
I'm just
That was
saying.
about
I'm just
whatever
saying.
tonight.
I'm just saying. Gambit. You
This
don't
is only
give
when
those
I show
rules.
up,
You don't.
Riri.
You don't
Things
stop
fall apart.
saying things. You know, when people say "let me finish," you just go on. But usually,
Well, you don't need
now
to
you-
let me do anything.
Yeah.
I'm a grown ass adult.
Ooh.
Okay, and you're gonna stop disrespecting me, or I'm not gonna
Yes.
address you at all. In fact, I'm done talking to you.
Oh.
Please continue, someone else.
I appreciate that. I
Okay.
appreciate
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Hold on, wait. You talking
Jamali,
about
Jamali, hold on.
Oh,
Yeah, I know
Jamali.
you're not talking about Gambit. You're talking about
Jamali.
Jamali.
Hold on, we gotta
Wait,
work
what?
this out right now. We gotta work
No,
this
I
right
was
know what
talking
just
to you, Gambit. I'm done talking to you. Goodbye.
Oh.
Jamali, he
Goodbye,
just made up like a
goodbye.
scenario,
Good
bro.
I'm really
friend,
confused as to
goodbye.
what just happened. So
Jamali, he made up a scenario she bought, bro. What's
Shut
wrong
up!
with you?
I'm really confused as to what happened, and so we're gonna figure this out right now. Okay,
So-
Jamali, what the fuck was that?
Okay,
What-
so,
what-
so
what-
Gambit was just saying something. Riri said that is she gonna be allowed to finish, and then Gambit paused like he wanted to continue, and then he stopped, and then I called him a little bitch.
Basically, you say he's simping.
Oh,
Like
I
he
thought
left
you
for
was
a
talking
man.
to her. I was
Oh.
like, that's why that's crazy. Oh, I don't.
But
get
it's
it.
still
Please
crazy.
stop
that you would
defending
say
me.
that,
I'm
but
just not gonna address someone who's
Wait, I'm
disrespectful
not-
towards
wait,
me.
wait,
and
but
we can
no
move
one-
on.
no one-
I don't want to
Let's make
derail
this
the
incredibly clear.
conversation.
No,
I don't wanna derail the
Because you think I was
conversation.
defending you. Hold on, I want to make sure you understand that to me, you're
No, I don't
insignificant.
think
You don't matter at all.
you
Hold on,
were
I'm gonna-
defending me.
This is dumb. This is
I'm not
I
gonna
don't
let
think
you.
you
Oh,
were
yeah.
defending me.
Okay,
I'm not
Jamali,
talking to you.
The reason why
I know you're not there, but like, no,
Okay.
I'm
Oh,
not
it was a
talking to you.
joke.
Anyway, but
Okay.
Jamali,
It
I
was
don't
a joke.
specifically
Hello.
care
the mute
about
button is
this
feeling
person
real
that.
good right
I'm just
now.
not comfortable with people calling black women that. So if you want to call this person that,
No,
I don't
yeah.
care for this person. This
Yeah,
person
but-
is idiotic. It's clear, but it just caused me to pause
Okay.
because I'm like, wait,
No.
I can't
Okay.
call black women.
All right.
I didn't
Now
even
we're
mean
moving
it
forward.
seriously towards Gambit. Okay, guys, everyone
Okay.
can relax.
All right. We're gonna move forward.
I thought it was very mature of you.
Let's pull back.
Yeah, I don't want to derail the conversation, so I'm just
Okay.
gonna move forward.
All right. So,
It's impossible. For
let
me.
me then I'll move forward the conversation myself. All right. If it is okay in any circumstance for people to vote for a person just because they're black, right? For black people to vote for a person just because they're black, then is it also okay for white people not to vote for a person just because they're black?
Yep.
Well, I think the counter would be white people voting for white people because they're white, not
No,
white
yeah,
people
but
not
I wanna-
voting.
I understand what you're saying, but like, is it okay for white people to say, well, this is a, I'm looking at these two people, and yeah, I guess they look all right, but like that's a black fella there. I'm not really trustworthy of that. And I'll vote for him.
Why are you
Yeah,
laughing?
go ahead,
Yeah, no.
Eli?
No, it's not. Oh, Eli can go.
I think can I answer that question?
Yeah, right.
So I would say no, and the reason why is because, like, okay, when we evaluate why, in many cases, black people or people of color in America might not like white people in many ways, we get, like, historical reasons, like historical systemic oppression and what have you. Meanwhile, when we evaluate why a white person most likely is not going to vote for a black person or most likely dislikes a black person, what's the reason there? An illusional sense of superiority over that black person or that person of color. It's not rooted in any sort of, not rooted in any sort of trauma. It's not rooted in any sort of, mistreatment from black people. Typically, because there
Neither
are
are
some white
logical.
people out there that what'd you say?
Neither are logical reasons.
No. You might disagree, but let me just finish, okay?
Sure.
Usually, when black people, are prejudiced or bigoted against white people, it comes from a place of hurt. It comes from a place of mistreatment. It comes from a place of trauma. Meanwhile, when it's from the other side, and I'm not saying that, like, it can't be the same for white people, because there are some white people who have had, like, lived in all black neighborhoods that have been maybe
Bullied
beaten
when
up
they're
on
white.
bullied, beaten up. Hold on, let me just they've been bullied and what have you. So that can still like it can be. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. With you guys interrupting.
Yeah, when you guys do that, people can't think. I just want to let you. I just hope you understand.
He's rambling. We're just trying to get to
I'm
the
not-
point, bro.
He's not
no, I'm not
rambling.
rambling.
Y'all are just
I'm not-
impatient.
And then what ends up happening is, and I can see that there's like a valid reason, and I've talked to white people about that kind of stuff before, right? But for the most part, it's this illusional superiority of being superior to another person solely based off of the color of their skin that has been passed down in many cases. Not all cases. And
Trust me.
That's my point.
Man,
Okay,
black people think they're superior too. I mean, have you been
That's
around?
not-
black
Sometimes,
people?
yeah. Sometimes,
No,
yes.
hold on. Bam. You're gonna tell me black people don't think they're superior to white people?
I'm saying that's not.
There are
that's
some there are some black people who do think
This
that they're
is not-
superior to
it's
white
a
people.
huge
Black
culture thing.
separatists. Yeah,
Okay.
black separatists.
Not
Fine.
even like
you,
if you listen
you
to
may
Black
actually
Twitter,
not
that's
be able
the
to have
case.
Dream and Monty on at the same time. These
Lot
niggas
of-
too and
There's a lot of
they're like
black-
interrupting each other, but
Mute
like
somebody.
what the actual answer is. What you said leads to a bunch of like dangerous consequences that we like
I didn't
that
say
we
it was-
wouldn't. But no, just let me finish. See, you know what I'm saying? Both these niggas.
Sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
It leads to a bunch of really dangerous consequences because, like you were started alluding to in your second point, anytime there's a white person who happened to get beat up by black people, like now that justifies his bigotry. That's not.
I'm not saying that justifies it. I'm just saying like.
That's not the point. The actual reason is there's a difference between being pro something and being anti something. Being pro black is a positive position we can hold in society, but we can still decide that anti blackness is bad for society, and we can hold that for any other community. Like being pro LGBT is something you can be, but that doesn't mean we have to allow anti LGBT like behavior, et cetera, et cetera. That's a more consistent answer that we can apply to society. Not that if you feel like you've been wronged, it's okay to have bigotry.
Well, I'm just saying, like in many cases, we should understand why people have that bigotry and see.
Sure, that's empathy, but that's not sympathy.
Yeah, but right. And in many cases, when we understand where these people are coming from with their bigotry, we can hopefully work towards maybe potentially deprogramming that bigotry, or at least to, in a way, come to an understanding. Does that make sense?
Sure, but
Hold on,
what you alluded to. Oh, my bad. Yeah, you can go. Let me just say two words and then you go. What you're alluding. I'm sorry. You right about that. Let me say 17
he
words.
apologized.
Let me say 17 words. When you what you allude to when you were originally speaking is that it was okay for black people to be anti-white. Like there was some justification to like hold that bigotry against individual white people. That's still not okay for black people. Even if we can empathize and understand, it's not okay.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't think it's okay. But I'm trying to. I guess it's like they're not the same, basically. Like in a way, that if that makes sense.
But both bad.
Yes, they're both bad. Yes, they're both bad.
Okay,
Yes.
so that's
So
all
what's
I
the
wanted
point
to
of
say
your
is.
point, bro?
Never mind.
Seriously,
Fuck it.
why
Forget
you
it.
even bring
Forget
it
it.
up?
Forget it. Forget it. Never mind. Somebody else talk. Just somebody else talk. Never mind. Forget it.
So we all know that voting for people based on your skin tone is bad, right? We all agree on that.
Like obviously.
All right. So like, if there are times where maybe in a post-apocalyptic world where everything's in sort of like a anarchical state between different like factions across the United States, maybe.
Anarchy, then why are we voting for president? Like, if it's
we're not, but like you have to align yourself with someone. You can't just be out in the wilds by yourself. You're gonna get fucking gooned up. Okay, you gotta be with someone. You gotta be in a gang, bro. Come on.
Max would disagree with you, but okay.
All right.
Speaking as a
There's an entire faction
who is gonna cry tonight. I did want to say that I do think that voting based on appearance is wrong on either side. So my opinion still stands on this. I think it's dangerous to vote based on that, based on race, based on religion, that people do vote for these ideologies because we assume that just because someone is Christian or just because someone is black, that they're pro-black and that they have our best interests at heart, and they don't. Like at the end of the day, we do have to step outside of race, step outside of religion, and not allow these politicians to pander towards those things. And I will say, and speaking of generalizations, which I don't like to, there are a large majority of Black people who do vote based on those things. And there are a large majority of white people who also vote based on religion as well, and race. So yeah, my opinion still stands on that.
Yeah, we all agree that those people are dumb. No, I'm just kidding.
I have a question for you, Riri.
No, I do not agree. I do not agree. It is not about intelligence, because sometimes just voting for somebody based upon having similar values can be power plays.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for instance, just voting for Obama was a power play against.
But that's different, though. Voting for particular values is different from voting for skin color. I guess what she's saying, other people are saying, is that skin color doesn't equal values, right?
But she said them all together in a list. They may be different, but she essentially said along the lines, all that stuff is dangerous, and it.
Wait, what did you think I said?
She's saying
She included
Wait,
religion.
can she just say what she
You
said
said religion,
again?
you said values, you said skin
No,
color.
I said
she didn't say
religion.
values.
I
She
said
said
religion and race.
Yeah, she said
Religion, race. Well, I'll just religion in a way is organized values.
Yes.
Don't
No,
say
no.
values.
Not necessarily.
True.
We're all
True.
smart enough. We're all reasonable.
Yes.
But that's not specifically. I
necessarily.
wasn't talking about the values in religion. I was talking about just the fact that they are Christian.
Yeah.
Because there's
There's
tons of
plenty of
people
people-
who
Just the
don't have
association.
those specific values that you have, but
Right.
happen to be Christian. Just like there are people who happen to be Black who don't share your values.
True, but what you're saying is only like what you're saying is true, but it like again it goes to like that's only true in a vacuum. Generally speaking, we do look at what communities people come from, what how they intersectionally on, and it can tell you a lot about a person generally. That's not always the case,
No.
but like seeing someone Black, seeing what like I said, seeing the intersections of people's identity can probably tell you a lot, some of the experiences they share, some of the a little bit of probably something about their background, like.
You have to confirm that before voting for them.
Sure, but I'm saying that,
That's
but I'm saying we're
important.
having the conversation, but I'm like having the conversation and saying that like, oh, this is what someone looks like doesn't guarantee that they hold this position. Well, yeah, obviously that's true, but again, that's the surface level boring conversation. And when you real life apply these things, like when I didn't know none of y'all when I first started doing ABE, but as soon as I seen, I was like, oh, okay. These are Black people. They probably had somebody in their families is been to
What
jail.
would
They
Fanatics
probably
say?
have
What
some
would
type of
Fanatics
shared
say?
experiences with me.
What would Fanatic say? GSC, you say it, because I don't use the N word on air. I only use it with my family.
What about
your
What would
white
Fanatic say? What would Fanatic say?
I don't know. I'm
Oh,
sorry. I lost.
He's not even listening. You missed the. Let's keep.
No,
it.
I'm
Go ahead,
listening. I
man.
just don't know what he was
Go
saying
ahead,
about
man.
niggas in
Go
this
ahead,
sense.
man.
Mhm.
Thank you.
But
Thank you.
But yeah, I
Thank
didn't
you.
like. I didn't think that. I didn't. Whenever
missed
before
the
I met
punchline.
any of y'all,
Oh.
I didn't assume anybody. I was like, they probably aren't Nazis. Why? Because they're Black, and there's probably a bunch of intersections of identity that would lead you to generally not hold those type of positions. So that's what I'm saying. Like when you apply it in real life, identities can tell you a lot about a person. Like that, sure you can confirm like with a politician you would confirm after the fact, but it's something that can lead you to like narrowing your positions. Like, oh, okay,
Right.
For sure.
these people give me the best odds of finding
Sure.
someone that sort of fits into
Sure,
what
but
I believe.
but your physical appearance and identity like that tells you less than when you ask somebody what their ideological, moral theories are. Like,
But most
obvious-
people don't get that chance to get in front of a person and ask you, "Hey, what do you believe?" Unless you're going,
You don't
unless they have all the funds and all the
Yeah.
time to go to every open house and have every
Like a
interview.
lot of people don't even
And
listen
then-
to the
Sure.
primaries.
You
Yeah,
don't have
sorry,
to.
any
You
of
don't. I'm not asking somebody to like. You don't have to ask anybody in person, right? Like, obviously no, but you can do research on them and read their
But a lot
bio.
of
Yeah,
people
but
don't,
research doesn't answer
unfortunately.
everything. Research doesn't
Okay.
answer everything, and most
I
people
agree.
don't know how to do good research.
Sure,
I know
okay.
that for a fact.
Hold on. So I want to.
So-
But can I ask Riri a
Oh,
question?
oh,
Please.
You
No.
know, get the ask.
He
Hold
did
on,
wanna do
I
it.
want to before we get away from this. Like, I'm gonna let you do this. D1, I want to let you ask that question, but I need to hit this before we move away. So, Bam, I think you made a really good point, and which shocked me. But
Oh, shit,
really
man.
good point. Talking about how
Disrespectful.
skin color actually does end up in real life being a shortcut for values. When you can say, right, like I can I could be wrong, right? If you look at a group of individuals, like you could be wrong, and one of them could be a Nazi, right? But it's extremely unlikely, right? Like, but every so often the Candace Owens shows up. But anyway, so like you could be, but it's like a good measure, right? It's like, okay, there's a base minimum of experiences and perspective that I can put upon this person, right? This is super interesting. I think this subject is super interesting because one, what can white people do the same to black people, right? Can they look at a black person and like see like, oh, there's a base?
No, they should also choose black.
I agree. Well, I agree about that.
They should also choose black. They should actually white people should be the only people who actually have a bias, and it should be black.
Okay. All right. Yes. Yes. You know, especially if you're talking about white women, always choose black.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, can they? Would it be fair for them to put on those experiences, especially if they happen to be negative, right? If we're saying black people can do that, then would it be fair for and they put on positive traits? Would it be fair to put on?
I don't think it's
negative traits.
Wait.
Like, this guy, he's probably a good guy, but he might be a little lazy. I don't know.
Yeah, hold on, wait. But I think all of us are calling out that it's not necessarily fair, but that it happens, and that's why, like, echoing back to what I said at the beginning, I think people need to be cognizant that they're making these choices, and that's how you truly get away from the unfair side of it. Like, if I'm assuming something negative about somebody, I want to understand why did I make that assumption, and then I want to work backwards to try and at least validate that my assumption was correct. Like, certain people, they jump on these panels and they try to act like they like, oh yeah, I'm gonna jump in, I'm gonna be like rah rah rah, and then they become soft and they start tagging you in chat. Like, I knew that certain people would do that, but I needed to confirm that they would be that soft.
Why you gotta call me out like that? That's fucked up.
I think that's true, and the reality is like, and
You don't know me, brother.
I love Prime
You don't
Chat,
know me.
but I'm gonna chew y'all out for like 30 seconds. The people who have an issue with, generally white people have an issue with this because white people is like the one racial identity that like they think like, oh, it's cringe to care about race. Like, no, you care about race too, and like whenever they go in like every time they talk about black communities, they talk about what about Chicago or Detroit or Compton, and they're like, and they don't feel safe. Well, like you wouldn't feel safe in a room full of niggas. That's just the reality of it. You don't know anything about them, but you do have these biases that lead you like, oh, like I'm not super comfortable here, and I'll like sure I'll hang out now, but I wouldn't want to do this again. And I feel like that's a lot of white people's experiences, but like that leads to those same biases. And I know they don't. It's not like something you actively choose, but like it's something we all believe deep down. The only thing is black people are allowed to say it out loud, and white people feel like they can't.
I understand that, like, from that perspective of like relatability, which someone mentioned earlier. I forgot who, but I do understand why people vote based on those things because it does feel more comfortable. You can relate to someone who looks like you more than you can relate to someone who doesn't. So I understand. I still don't think it's fair, but I understand.
I'm sure, and sure Destiny and Vaj, and I like these dudes, but I'm sure if they were on this panel, they would be like, dude, you care about like voting for somebody just what they look like, it's so cringe.
Oh, I think not Destiny. Destiny
would say that. Destiny would absolutely say that, and I like Destiny. Destiny wouldn't say that picking people based off identity is cringe.
Destiny understands reality. He's not gonna be like Vosh and just
He's literally Destiny would say the opposite of that. I can guarantee you, he would say the opposite of that.
And he would say, yeah, of course, race matters. We can see how people vote along racial lines. He probably link you to something like that.
I like Destiny, but I don't think he would say that.
You got it down perfectly. D103.
Yeah. Destiny simps. Now it all makes sense. Okay, continue.
D103, oh boy.
Read my mind. I just want to ask Riri.
I thought you said you weren't talking to me anymore.
Yeah, let Dream ask.
Now you're gonna be passive aggressive and cry. Pick one. Just pick one.
Am I crying? I think you're more your emotions.
You tagging me in chat.
Let's be real. It's okay to be emotional. It's okay.
Okay.
It's okay. I'm here with you. I'm here.
Off. Dream.
I'm gonna block you.
Like I said, I want to ask Riri a question because I haven't heard your answer from the prompt. Because the prompt asks, when candidates are the same, similar positions, and assuming that they have the same history, would you vote for the black candidate because they're black?
Wait, Planet, first platform history. Oh, would I choose if both of them were bad? Would I choose the black person?
Let's say they're both of them are good. Would you?
Oh,
choose
if
the
both
black
of them were good, yeah,
Tell the truth. All right,
Yeah.
there we go.
100%. Yeah.
person? Okay, cool. So race does matter to a certain degree, just not in like
That's your top priority.
Yeah.
Why? No, why would you choose a black person?
Because of what I said earlier, where I understand relatability, I think that a black person is going to understand my plight better than a white person.
So you
I just wanted you to.
understand why
I just wanted you to
people-
restate it for the YouTube.
So you would understand why people might vote for Obama, like.
Yeah, and I said that. I said that I would understand if people, but the question wasn't, do I understand? It was, do I think it's fair? And ultimately I would want people to prioritize voting based on something else.
Is
Other
is
than
voting
that.
fair? Is the voting process fair?
What does that
No,
mean?
it's not.
Because you brought it, because you brought it up multiple times, and I'm
No,
just like,
no,
I don't really care
I'm
about
literally restating the prompt. That's not my words. The fairness is in the prompt.
Is voting fair? Like, what does that mean?
fair. No, that was in the prompt. I must have missed that part. Okay. My
Yeah, in
bad.
the Discord prompt.
Oh, I'm not in that one. So
Oh,
that's
okay.
my fault.
Yeah, you try to sneak in here, cause strife.
No, I didn't.
Yes.
I literally came in here and I literally said to Prime, "This is gonna be a chill. It feels like a chill panel. I'll hop back on." And lo and behold, so once I say something, nah, you can't speak. Nah, you calling your some crazy stuff. But yeah.
Assume by fair, the prompt is referencing like.
Do we have to go through
someone-
this again? Did you
someone
or
going
did you not?
Thank you for engaging, Bam. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I think in terms of fair, I assume that the prompt is referencing like someone who is going like all out it pulled, like like I am a woman, I am black, and I'm going to serve the black. Like I love
Like
Biden.
Kamala Harris?
No, no.
Yeah, isn't that exactly what
Not like
Kamala Harris?
No, she
That's
didn't.
literally Kamala Harris,
Oh
bro.
man,
No,
what's
she
an
didn't.
AKAs like vote for me? I'm black.
No,
That's literally Kamala Harris.
that's not what she did.
I'm a
All she did
black
was
woman.
put out one of the single greatest platforms in American history. But
And lied.
like
Talking about the platform
has
of
shoes.
locking up black men.
no, I like Biden a lot, but like everybody universally agreed that like if you ain't vote, if you ain't black, whoever like put that in his note to something to say, like that was not the right move. Like that's pandering. That's
I thought that shit was hilarious.
Oh, you only so Bam. So we know that Bam only thinks something is pandering when the pandering is smacking him right upside the head. It's the only
No,
time.
he only thinks it's pandering when it's a white man doing it.
Oh, okay.
Listen, Kamala got the Indian vote too.
Say her name right, bro.
Shit.
Kamala.
Kamala.
I'm saying she says Kamala. She says Kamala. She says Kamala. She understood that multiple people or a lot of people say her name differently, especially if you have an accent. Please don't correct me if I'm not as outright. I'm not saying Kamala. I'm not calling her.
No, I'm not. I
I'm
wasn't
not calling her
saying
caramel.
Tomato.
I'm not calling her caramel. You know what I'm
But-
saying?
I know. I'm saying
Come
that
on now.
like I'm saying that she's the only name we can't say. Like they even got that junk wrong at the inauguration, and that junk was disgusting, and she had to like call it out in real time. Like she said her name is Kamala. And it wasn't about you. It's just everybody says Kamala, and that junk pisses me off because she is queen.
But why should we
I hear
even
you.
pronounce her name right?
Damn.
Why should we pronounce her name right? Like we've pronounced the other 44 vice presidents or 45.
Well, Brock,
That's
I
a
have to have a
stupid question. Like,
Yeah,
of course,
well-
pronounce people's names right. Come
Yeah,
on.
pronouncing names right, but
Wait,
you know,
Wait,
She
only
is
an idiot
accepted.
didn't understand that was a joke.
You're not
Jesus
funny,
Christ.
so I didn't understand.
Jesus Christ.
yeah, it was a bad joke.
So
Yes.
stupid.
Oh boy.
Let's move.
Okay.
All
Yeah,
right,
it's a
but,
dumb joke.
Now Kith.
But I'm glad we brought that up. I just wanted to put that into place that like just because that's why I said voting for people just because you have like similar backgrounds, similar values, those are power plays. It's not about being fair at that point. These are just you're just taking advantage of the situation just to move yourself forward, especially if you're at a disadvantage. So it's not about being fair. It's about just getting the job done.
So vote based off merit, unless you're white, because then you should vote black. Got you.
No, white people, if you want to vote white, go ahead and vote white.
No, it's not allowed. Not anymore. We've seen how
Yeah.
that goes.
Why do you?
Listen, I don't like how y'all. I don't like how
Azzy,
y'all.
Are you okay?
I mean,
What do you mean, am I okay?
Wait,
You think that's okay for white people to just vote on white people?
Yeah, what
Are
the
you
fuck?
serious right now?
Do they
Wait.
not do that?
Crazy.
It's not about what they do. It's about what they should do.
Right.
We
come on.
we vote black just because black.
so then there is no
Oh my
Barack
gosh,
Obama
bro.
then, right? Barack Obama doesn't become elected president if that's what we're saying. That's just cool, right? Barack
No,
Obama-
because
You
they're
got
still gonna
95%
be.
Right?
black
Wait,
votes.
No,
Ezra,
that's-
are you really saying it's cool?
What ain't enough to
Oh my
put you in
goodness.
Wait.
office.
Hold on,
All
wait,
right, yo,
wait.
so y'all are
Azzy,
calling
are
me
you-
into
wait,
question.
Azzy, I want to see if you finna clean this up. Are you being descriptive or prescriptive? Do you think people should do that, or are you just saying that's what happens?
I'm saying that's what happens, and go ahead and do it. And especially, I'll be both. I'm gonna
Yeah,
be a
you're
super
gonna be
Chad.
right
I'm gonna be
in
a
the
Giga
middle, yeah.
Chad. I'm gonna be a
Ooh.
Giga Chad. And I'm gonna be both.
Okay.
All right. I'm stealing that from Kyo-san. He
Double
said,
down.
He called me that once. I'm gonna double down, and it was already clean from the get go.
I understood. That's
people
why.
do it anyway. People do it anyway. A lot of people have good reason. Hey, they're Irish. I'm Irish. I'm gonna vote Irish. They're
But you think people should do that? Like that's a good way to operate in society.
It's a good way if it's beneficial to them.
Nah.
As this is a multicultural. This isn't some mono majority black society.
Maybe it
This
should
is
be.
multicultural.
Have we ever thought about
this
that?
is a multicultural.
Have you
society.
imagined
So
that?
whatever pushes forward, whatever is good for
Azzy,
their
but
culture.
should they? But
I'm
should
just
they?
trying to
Have
answer
you
the
ever
question.
imagined
Should
that?
white
Just
people
trying to
just
answer the
vote?
question.
Should white people, Ozzy? What we're asking is, should
trying to answer the
you
question.
think
I
should?
think I'm in the process. I'm answering the question you're asking.
Yeah, he's answering.
All right.
You're saying yes
but like
or no?
Okay, so then
Oh,
is
yeah,
it?
I'm not.
Okay, so some of you guys said that like basically using black as a stand-in for like values, right? Is it fair for white people? I'm just picking on white people. I mean, there are other people in this country, right? But is it fair for white people to think that a black candidate won't have their best interests in heart? Right? A lot of Republicans felt the same way, right? A lot of people.
Depends what kind of white person you are.
Hold on, wait. I want to call out why I think I take issue with what you're saying, because you're not taking the situation and making the same positive claim. You're taking the situation and making a negative claim. So it's different between us saying, hey, I think a black person would be pro-black, and saying, I think a white person would be anti-black. And that's what you're doing. And those things aren't equivalent.
Who's doing
so if you're
that?
going to say, if Prime in his question, if you're going to say, would white people think that other white people would have their best interests at heart? That would be the same thread of logic of black people thinking black people have their best interests at heart. But when you flip the switch and you say, well, is it okay if white people think black people don't have their best interests at heart? That's where you like assign a negative. And it's different.
Okay.
And I think that's
Let me go from the other way.
can
Let me
you-
go from the other way around. Would you think it's okay for black people to look at white people and think they don't have the black people's
for
interests in
sure.
heart?
No. I don't think that we should default or think that. No.
White people.
I think that we should. No, go
Sorry.
ahead.
No. Go ahead and finish. What?
Yeah,
Can you, yeah. Can you
yeah,
repeat?
I don't like.
Keep in mind.
Oh,
Sorry.
Do you
Go
think
ahead, Gambit.
no, I don't like assigning negative values without trying to validate them.
But you can do it to
I
positive
try not to.
values.
You
can
said
do
what?
it- but you can do so with positive values.
I think it's generally less dangerous to do it with positive value. I
Okay.
still think it's wrong,
What
to
about-
be clear. I still think it's something that I don't know how we get out of in-group bias, but I recognize what it is. I don't necessarily think it's a good thing, but I think it's far better than the opposite of assuming a negative.
So, but
Let's say
there's a
way-
danger in doing that. There's a danger in doing that. Like, for instance, like assuming competence, right? Which is what white people do all the time with other white people.
sure,
They assume
yeah.
competence.
For sure.
And it allows, like, for the worst, it allows, like, the whole Theranos situation to happen, right? We have this white woman
Yes.
who says that, like, she's got this technology, and then she gets all these people to invest in her company, and they don't actually check her out. When if she was a black woman doing the same thing, they're like, I need to see that paperwork. I need
For
to
sure.
see other scientists, white scientists, to back up this shit, right? That's exactly what happened. Or Donald Trump, right? People like a section of white people assuming competence and being very wrong about that. right?
But that's why I said that it's negative even in the positive case. I just think I think assuming a negative is far different than assuming a positive. And I don't know how to elucidate that more, but I think that there are different things at play for sure. But I think both of them we shouldn't do. But I think to simplify our world, we do that.
Eli.
I would say the way in which we get rid of in-group bias. There was a professor who told me this one thing that stuck with me forever, and that is exposure eliminates bias. So being exposed to different people, being exposed to different walks of life. I think to GSU Gambit's a question of like, or point of, I don't know how we get rid of in-group bias. I think that it would just be through exposure and from, listening to other people. My problem when it comes down to like, because I don't think necessarily that there are quite a few white people who do have black people's best interests at heart, because in many cases, a lot of white people, not all, but there are quite a few white people, especially within our government, who don't listen to the struggles and plights of the black community. And who, like, think about it. How long did it take us to get an anti-lynching bill passed? How long does it take us to get really any sort of, meaningful legislation that could, help or protect the black community? How long has it taken? How long did it take for us to get a Supreme Court justice who is black or a black woman? How long did that take? You know what I mean? Like, it just seems as though, especially in our government, they don't listen to us.
We talk about the last thing we talked about the other week was about the Tennessee town Mason getting attention because of the super factory being built there. An example of where a small part of a county was left and neglected for a lot of time because it was pretty much a sinkhole. It didn't have much money. There was years of corruption in it, and then all of a sudden, once money started to be potentially flowing into the town, or I guess actually flowing into the town, there all of a sudden it wanted to be a oversight council of the town, or just straight up removing the charter of the town to sort of absorb it. The town is historically black, and the people in charge of the town or the county above it is controlled by a white senator. Same shit that we've seen over and over again. I don't know if that's like a problem. In certain areas, it's obviously less of a problem, but I think it would be safe to assume that average black person cares more about black people than an average white person cares more about black people.
And then also to add on top of that,
maybe, but that delineation might be very small, maybe 1 to 2%.
There's like that, and I know some people might not like what I'm about to say, but there's also like that lived experience, right, of like living as a black person in America. That I'm sorry, some white people in chat might dislike what I'm about to say. A lot of white people don't know what it's like, and I don't even want to just say black people of color in general. Like a lot of white people don't know what it's like to live in America as a person of color.
I would say that lived experience doesn't make you have decent politics, because I would say a majority of black people have poor politics, if we're being completely honest. But if, like I said, in cases of things being close, again, I don't like using exact because, like we said, people probably aren't exact. But in cases of people being close, lived experience always helps. It never hurts the situation to have have skin in the game.
What about? So we've been talking about race, and that's because I framed the question that way. But what about class and gender?
I literally just put in chat that I think in terms of all the isms, I think classism is way more important in determining what candidate you're going to vote for. And I do think people do that when they're considering between like Republican and Democrat, which I don't ascribe to either political party, but I know the basis of that is the class of whatever class they fall into. A lot of them will vote based on who they think it has their best interests. Not with Trump, though. They decided to forgo that. But I think in terms of like the Republican Party, a lot of black people see that as like, oh, that's upper middle class. That's not us, because a lot of them are voting for what they feel is the everyman in the Democratic Party.
So Riri, do you believe that? Because you just said that. So do you think that like class solidarity is like a value you look for in the candidate? Like a poor candidate is a better candidate generally.
No, I wouldn't say a poor candidate, but I would say it's hard. It's again goes back to relatability, right? Are they going to have my best interests if they were born with a silver spoon? Probably not. Probably not. And a lot of their empathy and compassion, even with race, unfortunately, is based on how they can relate to those problems and those issues.
Okay.
And like,
you good?
Oh, maybe. So I don't know if I heard. I'm gonna say it. I think something that happened with Ketanji Brown Jackson in her hearing, right, about like the whole relatability thing, is how like and also classism too, right? Being able to work to get success, experience the American dream and everything. It's like who was it? Cory Booker who said, "I can't help but look at you and see my mom." Don't let what people are saying take away the fact that you have like these credentials and what have you. Like even though he's an establishment Democrat, he related to her from a race issue and probably even from a race standpoint, probably even a class standpoint, right? And a race issue and also a class standpoint as well. And was somebody gonna say something?
No, you just had a hiccup. I just said the word.
Yeah. Sorry, I forgot where else I was going again. My
every time.
My ADHD, it happens all the
Don't
fucking
blame the
time.
ADHD. I got ADHD. I don't forget my points.
Wait,
Everybody's
ADHD could be
ADHD,
different,
brother.
Finally,
Okay.
as
Oh God.
Come on, brother.
Everybody's
ADHD.
go fuck
Come on,
yourself.
come on,
All right, just take yourself and Tootsie Roll. Go fuck yourself.
Let
Sorry,
me see your Tootsie Roll.
it's gonna come back. It's gonna come back. The classism thing, right? So when we saw Ketanji Brown Jackson's hearing, right, and how she was heckled and how people brought up bullshit that like didn't mean anything with like her being a fucking judge and what have you. This is a person who has a black person, black woman who has more credentials than like half of the Supreme Court justices that are serving on the Supreme Court right now, and they're still Republicans looked at her and said, "Nah." They even like Lindsey Graham even acknowledged her, right? Like acknowledged where she came from, acknowledged like all of the credentials that she had, and said, "Nah." And it's stuff like this. That's why it's like we really can't trust rich older white people. And if someone like Ketanji Brown Jackson,
I can trust Bernie.
Get it? Bernie's different. if Ketanji Brown Jackson can't get it. If Ketanji Brown Jackson can't get it unabated and can't get it unobstructed, then really, it makes a lot of other black people look at this situation and go, "What chance the rest of us have?"
What do you think the worst thing they asked her about? They asked her specifically about a lot of shit related to child pornography and how she
asked her about like racist babies in a book or some shit. Asked her about fucking CRT. Asked her a shit ton of stuff where she's like, I'm a judge. What does this have to do with being a judge? Like, it was weird.
They asked. I think I watched some of the things that they asked her about, and I didn't take problem with almost any of it. Like,
really,
the stuff that I saw. I don't know what you saw. I haven't watched everything, right? The stuff that I saw, they were asking her about her. Like, it seems to be like she always gives far less time for people that deal with child pornography and stuff. And I thought all of that stuff was, but I saw like 6 different videos of that. So I like when people say, I was gonna ask you, when people say, oh, they were like doing her really bad, what exactly was the topic? Because the stuff that I watched, I was like, hey, this is interesting.
So you did. I'm not trying to like get you in a gotcha or anything, but like, did you not see the videos where they were like, I think it was Ted Cruz was asking her about a book about like racist babies?
Oh, Teddy.
No.
You didn't see that one? Okay.
There's a lot of footage, and I think you're both referencing things that.
Yeah, they did happen. Like both of those things.
Yeah,
like,
and
it's right. Like.
Yeah, the things that they were addressing about her sentencing of child pornography visuals and stuff like that, images and stuff.
Yeah.
apparently didn't seem out of line. Maybe we should be questioning the system as a whole as to how they're sentencing, because it didn't seem that out of line with other judges. So
Okay.
I don't see why that's a particular problem of this person in that regard.
Wait,
So
in 100% of cases, she gave less time than I think the statute and what the
100?
prosecution was
I'm
100%. When
I'm sorry.
she had the ability to, I'm sorry, Brian. We are going pretty deep off. Yeah, let's get back.
yeah, like I'm not prepared to argue this. I'm not sure if everyone here is prepared to do that. For Ketanji Brown. But
Can I say
shout out to
something
her
related to the
being-
topic about it, not like the specific stuff?
Okay.
Oh,
Before we get away from it, bringing it to the class issue. I like her. I think she's gonna be good at the job. But like, as far as dealing with like the class solidarity, her experience probably isn't close to that. I mean, she is. Her experience probably isn't close to that average like black experience. Like, both their parents were college graduates. Her father was like a big time attorney. She went to Harvard University. I don't think, and obviously she wasn't in an elected position, but like, I don't think she had like a class interest with the average black person or the average American in general.
Should we be putting weight? I don't know enough about her her early life, so I can't say.
Well,
So
it was
can I
just
ask-
point to
should we be
reread.
putting- hold on. Should we be putting weight on this idea of the average black experience? Right? Because we've talked about this before. We've talked about what that actually means, right? And like, well, you think that means the average black experience might be different from what I'm thinking, right?
But they got to be single mom and crack house. Like, I don't think we have to go to that extreme.
Ask
I
me-
wouldn't say that.
Can I ask
No,
me-
but I'm saying that
I
like a
think
lot
you're
of people.
speaking towards the majority, right? The middle class, right?
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah.
I don't think she was middle class. I think she was probably
I
at
don't think
at
that
where.
matters, right? That's
Well,
weird too.
we're dealing with
Or-
we were dealing with the concept of class solidarity. That was what Riri brought up. So that's what I was like pointing to. Like, I think she's good. I think she's gonna be excellent at her job, but I don't think that she came from what's the working class. And-
I
Yeah,
think
I wouldn't
what
care
I
about
think
a black person's class. I would care more about who are they trying to help and what policies are they setting forth to try and do that.
So do
I
you
care
think
less
that-
about
do
their
you-
current class.
Do you think? Okay, and I just want to ask this, and then you guys can jump on. Do you think that class or race, when it comes to black people, race matters more than class? Then, because like, and maybe white people it's different, because race is such maybe plays such a preeminent part in our society, and that, like, for instance, even if you are a upper class individual, right? If a cop sees a black man in an expensive car, gonna pull him over, right? So like, do you think in that case we can switch these things?
I
Right?
think if I'm looking at two candidates, I don't think that class ever matters. So only because of that, I have to say race matters more. But I don't think of a time when I'm like, let me go look at how this person grew up or caring about. I mean, if they're gonna be a preeminent candidate, they're going to have some level of success. They're not going to be the lowest class if they running for president, most likely, right? If they running for president, have a platform and people that support them, most likely they're going to be middle or upper middle class or rich. So I don't think class almost ever matters to me.
it
So,
was an issue
when it
with
comes
for
to-
Trump.
Actually, oh, sorry.
No, you're fine. I was spoken of.
If you guys don't mind. So I do want to touch up on that like class thing. So I've seen like a trend with like black people in particular, where all of a sudden, and I want to speak about black men for a second. All right, you give a black man $2 and a white woman, and all of a sudden you can't tell him shit. All right, all of a sudden the oppression is just out the fucking window. Like all of a sudden. It's just, all of a sudden the whole bootstrap myth and model minority myth, all that stuff just comes to the surface, right? So like, I think in a way, class does matter, because like, take someone like Candace Owens, for instance, a person who is most likely of a pretty high class, right? Who says, who is so defaultly anti-black, like, you might as well just, I'm not gonna finish that. But so like, you guys get what I'm saying? Like, in a way, there are a lot of black people who, because of class, all of a sudden they think that the oppression of black people that especially poorer black people, is just not existent, and that the rest of us are just lazy. So I do think the class does. I do think the class does matter.
Eli, ain't you the only nigga in the chat right in the
there's a lot
conversation
of
right now that's never been with only white women? Like, what was that?
Wait.
Like, you give a black man $2 and a white woman. Ain't you the only one that's only been with white women here?
It's almost as if I used to be anti-black.
Wow, that's a.
You're speaking from experience.
I mean, I used to be a tiny
Wait,
bit
no, but
anti-black,
this is
too.
no. This is crazy. This
You
is
grow
crazy.
out of it when you grow up.
A large portion of black people believe in trying to bootstrap yourself, but it doesn't mean they're ignorant of the reality socially that we exist.
Right, but like the reason why I said bootstrap, because like the whole point of the bootstrap myth or the bootstrap mentality is it's a joke really about how stupid it is. Like you can't you can't physically
pull yourself up from your own boots.
Yeah, you can't physically pull yourself up by your own bootstraps. I get the sentiment behind it is just work hard, but say that instead. Just say like, oh, you should just work hard and apply yourself. Which also
bootstrapper mentality is really silly because there are a lot of the reason I say class is important is exactly because of that mentality, because there are people who have come from money who don't understand all the barriers that come with not coming from money, not being able to like get to the next level because there are a lot of blockages towards that.
Sometimes there's also you have the case of a really, really poor person that came from the mud for real and then made it and is like, I made it, so why can't y'all?
Yeah,
right. And that's awful.
Absolutely, that happens as well. That happens as well.
I think a lot of people might make it and say that there are ways that we can make it. And there are better ways that we can try to make it, given the situation that we're in. It's like the most popular meme in the black culture is like, play the hand that you're dealt, right? And a lot of people, like, that's the same as the bootstraps argument, right? Like, try to make the best of your life, given the terrible hand that you are dealt. At least don't be a negative on your own self, right? Yeah. Like, it's like, like, a lot of black people say that. Like, I would say the majority. Like,
but Prime, right. I'm not Prime, but Gambit, that's an individual, like that's something you tell an individual. I can tell an individual things they can do to put their individual life in the best position. Pull up your hands, do all blah blah blah. But that's not a good systemic critique. And some people use it as a systemic critique. They're like, how do we fix the system? Oh, black people need to work harder. They're like those two things are separate.
The majority of people think that really have success.
Yes,
a lot of people, yes.
No,
not everybody.
People are just like some people overuse it, but we're just like the reason why we're overusing systemic racism, like in like all of these conversations, is a word we just discovered in the last decade, really. Like, and I'm saying us as in like the general population. Like before, everyone thought that like the average person thought that like, oh, okay, you just have to like we're gonna be able to work hard and get everybody up, pull out the whole community, the whole block coming up from working hard, and now we realize that's probably not reality. Some people make it out. It's mostly due to luck, that doesn't negate the things that they do, but like there's a lot of people that's also going to work hard that aren't going to make it. So like it has to be a bigger critique of the system. That doesn't mean the individual shouldn't try.
I don't think a lot of people's systemic answer to black people's problems are just work harder. I don't.
What do you think the entire Republican Party exists for?
You were talking about you were talking about rich black people or middle class black people.
I mentioned Candace Owens, who's a Republican.
Yeah, you mentioned one person, but I'm talking about the majority, right? Of course.
Are you talking about like wealthy black people?
Yeah, I don't think that's the common sentiment with wealthy black people.
I mean, I think maybe they're becoming more aware, but I think that I think there's a large community of of wealthy and upper black people that feel like I earned everything I got. Like they're not really realizing that there is some level.
A large portion of the wealthy black people are first generation wealthy, so they understand what life was like before they were wealthy, and they understand the systemic barriers that they had to overcome. I think
they overcame them. That's the thing. I don't think like that. Just
have they not though?
No, I think that there is a level of luck. There's a timing and place.
Obviously,
it could have been anybody. You happen to be there. That doesn't negate. That doesn't mean that you don't work hard. But I'm saying that if 50 people can work just as hard as you, and 2 of them could.
But it's
could
not
find their way
always
to
hard
success.
though. Sometimes it's in, like smartness. Like you
Yeah.
can work just as hard as me, but you may not be as smart as me. You can't say people are just equally as smart as each
A
other. 'cause
lot
that's
of
not the case.
rich black people are rich off of the fact that they are athletes and rappers. You know, they're
It's not about
You
smart.
have to be smart to be a rapper. I'm sorry.
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I'm not alluding to them being stupid. I'm alluding to the fact that there are blockages regardless. Like, we still see problems in getting black people with wealth, but a certain type of wealth. You feel me? Like, even those people that are very rich are rich for a specific reason and had a similar path.
And
Like, we talk about Mamba mentality, like, oh, you know, Kobe's a great basketball player because he worked hard. He's also 6'6". Well, he's also 6'6". Like that was something that like that.
There's a lot of 6'6" people that didn't become Kobe Bryant. Like,
yeah,
that's
right.
Wait,
But,
Kobe
like,
Bryant was 6'6"? Holy shit! What the?
But like also there is I think another point to what Riri was saying is that like black people tend to be overrepresented in certain like fields, right? We tend to be overrepresented in certain fields, and that mainly has to deal with like accessibility to things. Like for instance, I like to compare sports like basketball, football that tend to have over a lot of black representation in them. I like to compare that to things like auto racing, right? So like when we take something like NASCAR, right? We have Bubba Wallace in NASCAR, but then we have all kinds of black people in basketball, football, and what have you. Why? Because there's systemic barriers, such as in order to become an auto racer, that costs a lot of money in order to get into that.
Exactly.
Meanwhile, and like it's not accessible. It's not like you can just go to your local high school and here's auto racing tryouts. There's basketball tryouts. There's football tryouts. Black people can it's easier for black people to get into these things. And then when we get into them, we work really hard. We work really hard because in many cases we think, a lot of us think, this is my only ticket out of the ghetto. This is my only ticket out of being poor.
I don't think
and as a result, we're overrepresented in those fields.
And I also think there's another component that we missed too. It's also unlikely that you're going to be the one, so people with means are less likely to try and take that challenge. So it's all of those things playing together at the same time. Like imagine if somebody's wealthy and that kid is like, yo, I'm going to be Michael Jordan. They're going to sit them down and be like, all right, no, you don't do stupid shit like that. Like, that's crazy. You're not going to be Michael Jordan. You're not going to be the one of the 450 people in the NBA. And in a situation where you're not from that situation, it's more likely that people embrace it because people need you to be the one. Like, they need you to be the one. So they're like,
you're not gonna be as hungry as a poor person when you're an athlete, when you're a super rich person.
Yeah,
absolutely.
100%. You see that with boxers all the time.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the athletes in general are preyed upon, like good athletes, because they know those people will work very hard and they will exploit them.
Yeah, and that's
there's a reason why it's a lot of black athletes. You know, they come from impoverished places and they know they can exploit these people because they know they will work really hard.
Like, who signs the paychecks? Who owns the teams? It ain't us a lot of the time.
This goes back to another conversation we had. But it's also because there's very few jobs that you can make like $10 million a year. Like, show me that college degree. Like, that doesn't mean that there's some people in those fields that don't. But showing that everyone, like a large portion of the people in this
but
field,
even
like,
to get that, you need to go to like MIT, which like a lot of black people who are in that predicament of being impoverished can't afford to go to.
I think there's like a bell curve, right? I think like the richest black people are entertainers, but like most rich black people are not entertainers. They're like professionals, lawyers, doctors.
Well, it means your threshold for rich, I was about to say, is that in the hundreds of thousands or millions?
At least
I would assume most
like
black millionaires are in entertainment, just because of the size of the sports.
I disagree.
Probably not.
Most
it seems that way, but
professionals. Well, I mean, they'll be the only ones we'll be talking about, like the rich and famous, right? Rather than the rich.
Yeah. Like you'd have to think about like managers and they get money too, and they're not necessarily entertainers.
I mean, this could be a moment of like where the media affects us, right? Like we like to.
Our perception,
the media, doesn't affect our perceptions, but
it
could be the case.
It
I
does.
really don't know.
It can.
I don't know the demographics of the upper black class, right? I don't know. But it could be the case that it's simply because we see that, right? We see when we see people who are ultra successful in the black community, it's because they're in that narrow band of professions. But it could be the case there's a larger group who is not, and we just don't see
And
it.
that's what's normalized. So it's like sociologically reinforced that if you want to get rich, go into entertainment, when it's just not true. Like the easiest way to get rich is to go into software engineering. Without
Maybe it
question.
worked for me. Maybe
Not
I'm
even.
about to say maybe the conditioning worked on me because I legitimately believe it. I believe that, and not all, but I believe that some majority percent of black millionaires are in some field of like entertainment, whether that be like music, sports, comedy, like acting. Like I absolutely believe that. That doesn't mean that there's not black people who are just in real estate or just in. Like,
I definitely wasn't saying that, but like I think we all know the majority is in entertainment. Like
that's what we're arguing on.
I just want to see a black millionaire, and maybe this actually does exist, but I just want to see a black millionaire with a weed company. You know what I mean? Like you see a millionaire white person with a weed company. But when was the last time you saw like?
There's a reason,
Right.
but they kept that from happening. They kept that from happening until white people started like making money off of it. So again, it just goes back to systematic racism, and it's if you don't come from that, if you don't understand that is more important to me because it's obvious that it will dictate what you do in your moves that you make in your political platform.
I think at least in New York, they're making it so that the people who get like licenses or stuff like get weed are people who have either been like related to people who've been locked up due to possession or something like that, or they've been locked up, like something like that. Like they give priority to those people first. That's pretty neat.
Fucking based.
And don't even get me started about stack charges
About
for
what?
marijuana.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah. So we've drifted quite a bit with this, which is fine because I think we've been in interesting places. But I think.
Holy shit!
I guess I am not okay with like the larger implications of saying that we should vote for a person because of their color. Going back to the Hillary Clinton and Obama situation, right? Like, that was a moment in time, and I remember following that, right? That it seemed to me that Hillary Clinton and Obama, they were neck and neck, honestly, with their views. If you remember that...
Whoa, no.
Hold on. No, hold on. Give me a second. Right? Thank you for the 100 bits. If you remember their debates, right? They were struggling to find daylight between themselves. And so, like, one big part of their debates was on healthcare and how healthcare should be like what will become the Affordable Care Act, right? Like what are the contours of it? But like they argued on such a super narrow point. I can't remember what the point was. I wish I could remember, right? I think it was on compensation, like doctor compensation or something like that. But it was like super narrow, and they just went at each other on this one point because otherwise they've been aligned. Maybe someone in chat might remember what it was. But what's funny, anyway, was that when Obama got elected, he ended up taking Hillary's position, even though he was saying like, "Oh, that was fucking ridiculous." He actually ended up following her plan, and I think that the difference that people thought was between them was actually imaginary. I think Obama wanted people to think that he was more progressive than Hillary Clinton. He absolutely wasn't, and they proved that he wasn't. So, but I've strayed. I'm sorry, but the larger point is that I get that why people would have voted that way, but it seems like if the situation is reversed, we would be outraged, right? And or at the very least understand that the implications are disastrous for black political power if it can be true that we vote on race, and that's a fine thing. Then it should be true that the other people can vote on race. And if that's the case, then we'll mostly get shut out of the political.
100%.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I said white people have to vote black. They can't, like, that has to be the slogan. Black people vote black, or whatever they want, and then white people vote black.
Jamali's like, no fairness at all.
That's, I don't
think we
well, I'm done with fairness. It's been how many years since the end of slavery, quote unquote. Fuck that shit. Let's know. We want the overwhelming majority of power in the political sphere so we can shape the country in the way that we fucking want it.
Yeah, I don't think we can shut out.
I feel like this is going to be clipped and used in some conservative, obscure website that you're never going to know about. Oh my god!
I can only hope.
This is what they want.
I don't think we get shut out because I still feel like there's still overwhelmingly exceptional candidates who are black that white people will vote for, or at least follow. So
like
it's
Obama.
not like Obama.
Yeah, it's not a definite shutout.
Yeah, we did. A lot of people. I used to rag on white people all the time, even black people. I'm like, why are you voting for Obama? Nah, he's black. I'm like, but that's dumb. And I used to say that to people all the time. And I went out my way to look up his politics. I can't remember any of it, but I just looked it up for the sake of people, just asking people, why are you voting for Obama? And I just found it weird because I knew a lot of white people who said, I'm voting for him because he's black. I knew a lot of white people, especially in college. You know,
allies, all of them.
For sure. But even more than like,
well, was that
but not even just his politics, and not even just him being black. Like something we don't recognize because we experienced it in real time and we only know what we lived through. Barack Obama is probably in the top 5, maybe top 2 or 3 most like eloquent presidents we've ever had.
Most
like,
educated, most
like
eloquent.
the level, like the if you listen to Barack Obama speak, it's like insane compared to like any other president. Like that's something. If he wasn't a president, he would be a legendary public speaker. Like
you think the twang when he
Hold on. I think one thing that y'all ignoring, and this is Prime. This is what I took a little issue with when you were like Hillary and Barack were the same. They're not even close. Hillary has a track record of being against the black community, and a lot of black people are smart enough to understand that, and that's why she also lost in 2016. Like she's terrible.
We're not smart enough with Kamala.
Well, I don't know why people voted for Kamala. It was stupid. But
y'all need to leave Bam alone.
Well, first of all, who did
vote for Kamala?
Who did Obama choose for his vice president? Biden. Other person has been terrible for black people, right? A history of that.
Yeah,
right?
at least. But
yeah, but
also,
Biden was also horrible for black people.
No. Hold on. The difference is there was a different option, right? They could vote for Obama to be president, or they could vote for Hillary to be president. They're like, I don't know this black guy, but I'm already happy that he's black. And this person has been the devil for black people. So obviously people are going to vote Hillary. And then but he picked Joe Biden, to try to get
you mean Obama? You accidentally said Hillary.
No. I meant to say, he picked Joe Biden. I thought I said. He picked Joe Biden, and it was like, well, we don't care because we got him for president.
Because Joe Biden was known as the tough Democrat. Like,
but also like
he was he is the establishment. You know, like
he is basically
he represents the establishment.
But like also why? But like also why do you think he chose Biden to be his like vice president?
Other white voters for sure.
Right, exactly, and to get the Republicans on his side as well, because Biden's just sorry, Bam, but Biden is pretty much just another Republican. I'm sorry.
Well, I won't say that. He's just terrible for black.
He's just the most progressive. He just has the most progressive platform in U.S. history.
I mean,
no, he's just regular Democrat. Not really good for black people.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess it ends up being a different conversation there. But all right, thank you all for all of this. We're going to continue on to my audience. We're going to continue on with the open walk on panel. We're done here, but we're going to replace this great group of people.
No, we're staying.
You.
We're not leaving.
Well, please do.
We're here.
We're gonna replace this with you. So we're gonna go to open walk on panel right after this. right? Where you, yes, you're saying homemade to participate, so stick around for that. We have more content coming your way. If you've just discovered this channel and been appreciating this content, hit that follow button. If you haven't done so before, hit that follow button, make sure notifications are on. So you know I'm going live. I do this 7 nights a week, either here or on YouTube. So we always have more content for you. So follow the channel. Hit us up on social media. We have Twitter, where you'll get information about the channel, right? If you don't know what's going on with the channel, not on Twitter, right? So check out Twitter. We also have Discord. Everything happens on Discord, including that open panel that's going to happen next. And then YouTube is where you'll find the VODs. If you missed anything, like, comment, subscribe, and YouTube. Also becoming a YouTube member, right? Hitting that join button and supporting us that way if you appreciate getting that content 7 days a week. All right, I'm going to give an outro to these people, but remember the content doesn't end. We'll start with Bam. Bam.
I don't know where I just was. I swear I just had a stroke. Like, just in real time. I didn't know where I was for like 3 seconds. Yeah, no.
Hey,
Super fun
okay.
panel. I love ABE. Yeah, he's all right. If I die, I die. Yeah, always love it. Always love all of the panels, especially. Yeah, good topic. Follow my Twitter. Bam Bam Bigelow. Pretty funny.
You gotta send me a link to your Twitter because like I own the.
You made me follow the wrong person.
I know it was the wrong one. It was the wrong one.
I don't know who else.
After I sent it-
Somebody copying me.
I was low-key, I was like, this nigga has a clothing line and shit and didn't tell us. I was low-key
Black
upset.
American. Yeah, I know,
Honestly,
right?
it seems like it's on track for Bam. Honestly,
I definitely hit up the wrong
Can I see it?
Twitter account.
Oh
but
my
yeah, you
god!
gotta,
I
like,
was gonna buy something from that. I'm so mad.
I tried to look. I don't know. That was all right. Anyway,
I did that with Logan. That'd be
but
crazy.
like I appreciate Bam, right? He's a good guy, right? And I like his voice. I like his accent, right? I just wish that he wouldn't use that voice for fucking evil, right? Like,
Southern
god
King.
damn it, it's the worst opinions. So, but it's silky smooth, but just like the worst things to use it for. Thank you, Pam, so much. Right. Next we got not Eli Monty. Thank you also for coming through and being part of this, Eli. All right. This was a lot today, and I'm glad you're here to experience it all with us. So Eli, tell the world about yourself.
Hi, I'm Nadi Monty. I'm a leftist. I stream basically Thursdays through Sundays at twitch.tv/NadiLimonty. I'm real big on like women's rights and intersectional feminism. Always make sure that your feminism is intersectional, otherwise you don't have it. Yeah, I also do a lot of gaming. That's partially what I was doing here. That's probably why I said some stuff where I didn't hear some other people and what they said because I was slightly distracted. Yeah, I'm a scatterbrain with ADHD and Gambit.
Okay. My man, GSU Gambit, back with us again. GSU Gambit, like you know, already know how much I love having you around, right? Whether agree or disagree, it's always a good time. So thank you for coming through and yeah, sharing your perspective.
Yeah, I'm happy I could. So we finally figured it out, Prime. Bam is having strokes before he gives these takes. That's what's
There we
been
go.
going on. It all makes sense now. I forgive you, Bam, for everything you've ever said. But I know. No, I'm happy to be back, man. It's been a while. I don't have as much time as I used to, so on the weeks that I can make it, definitely I'm happy to make it. Sorry about the fiasco, but
That's my bad.
things are good now. So that was my bad on that. But no, I'm happy to be here, man. It's always dope to be on ABE. I don't know when I'll be able to make it back, but I'll be happy whenever that day comes.
I'll
Appreciate
be
it.
hitting you up with invites one way or the other, right? Next, we have Jamali. Jamali was here with us. Jamali, thank you seriously for stopping by. Right? We don't get
Always.
Jamali here as often, but still, it's a great addition to the channel. So thank you, Jamali.
Always. When I'm not skirting a line on, what's acceptable things to say to people or just saying things that we just shouldn't or agreed to not say, I'm generally chill, playing League or doing political content, talking about certain topics in the news, like Kataji Jackson Brown Jackson hearing and stuff like that. Oh my God. And that's pretty much what I do on Twitch and on YouTube. At YouTube, you can find me on Jamali GG, and then on Twitch, you can find me on Jamali Senpai. Thanks
so much.
I've been getting into Wild Rift myself.
It's actually really good for no reason.
Wild Rift?
League of Legends Wild Rift?
Yeah,
I know.
It's actually a pretty decent phone game.
D1O Dream, back with us. Like, it's been like a month. So it was happy to have you here, and mixing up with everyone. Tell a little about yourself.
Well, thank you for having me, Prime. Always a pleasure. I love coming here and flexing my debate muscles, as you can see. Very flexed. Anyways, I'm very happy to be here. Very happy to talk to everybody here. It's just a good environment with black people. We may be like rowdy at each other, but I feel like we all know that's just how we are around each other. There's no hard feelings, and that's what I like. Everybody.
Spice.
Yeah, feel me. That's that cookout vibe. That's how I feel. But I like who I am as a person. Like, I'm 23 years old. Feel me? I work in government right now. That's why I haven't been able to make it sometimes, because I have all these like hearings that I have to go to check up on the community, give community updates, and listen to the constituents, so I can make informed decisions. And right now I'm in a transitional period. I'm about to be promoted to youth program manager for the Human Rights Commission. Thank you. So I'm very happy, and I'm working on a project to work with Black student unions to be the spearhead of the reparations movement in San Francisco.
Say that shit, damn it. I don't live
So
in
I'm very, very, very excited.
That's what's up.
I study philosophy in college, and this is what I love to do. I love to help people out and debate people with stupid ideas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And we always love seeing black people in the come up. So I can't wait till you get that actual promotion. All right. Next we have Azzy, who swore off my panels.
I never did.
You definitely did.
I definitely said, give me some one-on-ones, because
That's not a panel.
That's not a panel, bro.
Whatever.
Give me some one-on-ones. He said, check up.
Anyway, but Azzy, I like you a lot. That's why I send you invites. Anyway, that's why I send you invites in the first place. So thank you for stopping by and being part of this. Azzy, a little bit about yourself.
What's going on, guys? My name is Azzy Ohm. I'm always grounded in my opinions. That's why when GSU says, hey, clean it up, no, I don't need to clean it up, because I was clean from the get-go. I do not have... I don't have the proclivity to be disrespectful. It's just when y'all go so ham, then it starts to get on me, and I start acting like y'all. So that's why I had to take a step
touching
back.
yourself.
You're soft.
There we go. There we go.
Period.
I'm telling y'all, man. Y'all don't know the cook. Y'all leave the cookout, but the cookout never leaves y'all. See that? I could feel. I would feel y'all if I had.
What does that mean?
If I had some hot dog. If I had a hot dog and a burger in my hand, and I was enjoying good food.
You wouldn't get roasted if people didn't like you at the cookout. So. It is what it is.
I know
you leave the people you don't like alone. You're like, yeah, they're over there. Like, we're not talking.
No. Because I know y'all love me. I know every time I show up. I saw the reactions when I came in. Fanatic dropped in his seat. GSU. GSU.
I was laughing because of Fanatic's
reaction. Yeah.
He was like, yo, this shit should not be happening.
Yeah, like, why is this man just showing up on my space? Because he swore, he's like, Azzy, I will never be on a panel again with you. Don't be in my space. And I was like, all right, bro, whatever. And I just showed up. I'll be honest. And I'm derailing here. I don't like doing this, but I'll do it. I like Fanatic's content. I've been watching it. He's trying to be more civilized. He's trying to be more, he's trying to have more productive content. But then he said he has, like, what is it called? Nigga Tuesdays? Good Lord. And then all that just, that fell apart. So, all my
Nigga
Tuesdays. Dreams. That's crazy.
Yeah, what's wrong with Nigga Tuesdays, bro? You anti-black?
Nigga Tuesdays.
We have Nigga Thursdays here.
You anti-black.
What the fuck you think this is?
You anti-black, bro. Just say
Can't
it.
take these Negroes nowhere. I'm telling y'all. Don't want y'all
love
running
Azzy,
for
man.
no
I
type of
love Azzy.
office, man. I don't want y'all running. I'm not voting for y'all.
Yeah.
All skin folk ain't kinfolk in my book. I say
Nah,
it all
you
the time, bro.
You
I
voted
say
for
it
me.
all the
Who
time,
you
bro.
voting for? Who you voting for, Azzy? Who you voting
I'm
for?
voting for
Alright.
put Corey in the house. But
We got-
okay.
we got-
So I'm gonna finish. All right. So that's what I'm talking about. As soon as I came in, the very thing I said to you, Prime, I said, "Yo, this is gonna be a chill. It's looking chill. I'm just gonna pop in. I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm
When
just
are
gonna be
debates
chill."
ever chill in here? Like, let's be real.
But nah, because over these Negroes over here apologizing to each other. Oh no, bro, you go ahead. Yo, man,
What?
nah, you go ahead. You good? I'm watching Bam and Monty and Senpai just being all nice to each other. I'm like, what? Y'all can't do this. Y'all just can't be respectful. It's not in y'all, bro. So that's what I said to him, right? As soon as I get on, the first thing I say, oh no, this Negro talking, bro. We gotta cut him off ASAP, bro. Yo, great grandma ugly, huh? Now you're checking me for the dumbest stuff, bro. Come on, man. Let's be.
But did you say that though?
Anywho, I'm gonna finish. I'm gonna land my plane.
Oh my God!
You can find me on Azziome on
Azzy, I need you-
Twitch. Twitch.tv/Azziome. You can find me on Twitter, Azziome. Find me on TikTok. Find me on Instagram, Azziome. I do funny content on TikTok. I do faith-based management on Instagram. I play games on Twitch, and I talk about anime and TV shows and funny stuff that happens on Twitter. I've been gone for a little bit.
He's not gonna stop.
Y'all are disrespectful. Go ahead, Ree. By the way, Ree, I want to say I'm glad to see you here. Is this your first time here? Because I've been in your stream. We played Words with Friends. All right, and I love your stream. I just want to say that you should go to her. So now it's her time to chill.
All right. Well, okay.
No, why? First of all, why am I always going when the ads playing?
Oh.
I think that's just you. it's
Busted.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, I thought it was like a strategic move. I was like, that's actually
No,
kind of
it's
smart.
automatic. I can guarantee you that.
This is my first time here, and I feel really bad because PrimeCayes has been trying to get me on for like a year now, and that's not even a joke. And I've been watching a lot of the debates, and I do appreciate them, and I'm happy to be on despite me definitely trolling in the beginning because I'm not about to talk to just black men about gender tropes. I just don't think that's a fair debate for me. Also, I came in literally after I wrapped from G4, where I work. So make sure y'all tune into G4, twitch.tv/G4TV.
Oh, where you in it?
Make sure y'all tune into that, okay?
What,
Thursdays, 2 p.m. Pacific specifically, and then after.
Cool.
Are you on their talent?
I am a producer for them. Yeah, so I write and produce content. I also produce and write my own content and edit it. I don't play music, so don't be thinking I be singing people like little love songs and stuff like that. Like, this is not what this is. Okay, I'm wholesome. I don't be singing no R&B songs. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed this conversation. I would love to come back and talk about something other than politics, to be honest with you, because I'm like politics out. But like relationships, like health, therapy, that's the type of stuff I would love to chat about. And I really enjoyed everybody's perspective, even the people I didn't agree with. I think it's always good to hear from everybody's side because I think it's a good way to learn more about yourself and about the world when you get different perspectives. So I appreciate everyone in chat's perspective and also everyone in the panel's perspective. Don't disrespect me though, because talk to me nice. I'm a grown ass woman. I'm 30 plus.
Whoa.
But talk to me nice. But we cool. We cool.
I reject the panel being only men. Jamali one of them they thems. Speak up.
One of them.
One of them they thems.
Jamali?
Huh?
They weren't paying attention.
Yeah,
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Yeah, Jamali is a they them.
All right.
Excuse me. I should have said I'm the only woman here. Apologies.
That's okay.
And
That's not-
yeah, we're trying to build up
Apparently.
that segment. Look, if you guys, guys and gals, if you know any other women who want to be a part of this, I reached out to Jay Cook.
The more women, the merrier, I think.
I have one. She being lame. I'm working on it.
Okay, yeah. So like, if you guys know someone who might be interested, then
Priestess
let me
said she
know.
was just coming from Jamaica. I had hit her up too.
Mistress?
No, priestess.
Priestess. Oh, okay, priestess. Okay, cool. All right. Well then. Thanks
I forgot. Follow me on TikTok, Tanea Ree, Twitter, Instagram, Riri on Twitch. I'm bad at plugging myself. Sorry.
No, fair enough. No, that's what you got to be doing, right? And let's shout out to you. Let's put that shout out in chat. So everyone goes and follow Riri, right? Partner here on Twitch, right? Already blowing it up big, right? So check her out. Okay. And yeah, it's been more like a year and a half that I've been trying to get Riri on.
Yeah, and then as he shows up, and all good things start happening. I'm telling you, bro. When I show up, y'all get blessed. All right, telling y'all, man. I was just like, it can't be a coincidence. It cannot be a coincidence.
It can't be. No, you're right.
I start showing up.
I can't.
That's that.
There is no such thing as coincidence.
Flat Earth logic right there.
Stop fighting your
Synchronicity by Carl Jung. Come on now.
Telling you,
Conspiracy theories.
I pop in, the viewer count go up.
Oh boy, people like to see us dunk on you. All right, to my audience, we're going to continue on to the open walk on panel. Anyone here can join us, but if not, that's okay. Thanks for your time, your energy, your knowledge, and your passion with my community. I know they appreciate you as much as I do. Have a good one. Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
As you know what time it is, Azzy. Don't run.
I'm trying to go to
Don't
bed.
run, Azzy.
I'm an educator. I bring light to black youth.
No,
I don't know what y'all doing. You out here being an engineer for the enemy. I'm out here trying to make sure I have enough energy to educate my youth. What do you mean?
Hey, did y'all know that Prime was anti-reparations? I just found this out.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
A lot of black people.
He's not anti-reparations. He's like reparations for everybody. Like it's a class reparations, which is
and
not.
They definitely tried to clown you yesterday. Yeah. Or what day was it? I'm like, hey, you held your ground, Bam. I'm telling you, Bam. Good job, bro.
I was fighting niggas, but the thing is, like, it was crazy. Like, it was being in the room with 4 black people, and like everybody was anti-reparation. I was like, wait a minute, hold on now. This is not the people I'm supposed to be having these arguments with.
Wait, talking about that. Y'all talked about that on Fanatic panel?
Well, afterwards, yeah, it was afterwards.
I heard the Will. Oh yeah, I heard the Will Smith part, and then after that, I kind of stopped listening. But
yeah, no, it's good. But it was like crazy. We don't like it was like an hour rant. With,
wait, Trihex was anti-reparations too?
Yeah, he said he thinks that it's
in a world where CRT is
wait, I'm like, no man, Trihex. Hold on, wait. Was Trihex thing? It was unlikely, or was he against the idea?
Well, he says that both. He says it's unlikely, and he said even if we did it, it would cause problems. Like we should just focus on class. And I was like, no, we can do both.
That doesn't. No,
yeah, I'm surprised. Yeah, I was shocked.
No, I like try. Also, just to be clear, my pronouns, while they are here, and my identity as in general is something that I put out into the world. I'm not like expecting people to use my correct pronouns. If you don't want to, you don't have to. I would never force anyone to. And also in the regard of calling it out at the end of the show, no one has been using my correct pronouns this entire time, so it wouldn't make sense for me to say anything about her mentioning.
No, it was just. It was
a joke. I know. I'm just making sure that people understand.
But I do make an effort. Like I do think like I F up a lot. I'm positive that you could probably.
It's really hard for me to use they them.
It's honestly it's okay. It's something that's individual to myself, and I'm sharing it with you people because I feel comfortable around you. But
that's why I just say your name. I just say your name.
Do whatever. It's really okay. I know how people are about pronouns, so I don't really want. That's why I don't associate with that sort of person.
Hey, you better not say this on a stream. I hope nobody not streaming. The woke mob will come for you.
I don't give a fuck.
Nah, they'll come for you, bro. You don't want to hear the woke mobs. You saying that they can misgender? Oh my god, they might, bro. You better be careful, bro.
That people could misgender me. Yeah, okay. What do you? I don't know. What do you do about that? What's the argument for that? Like
Bro, the woke mob won't like this, bro. Stop it. I'm trying to protect you, bro.
He'll be all right. I've gotten hate rated for way less. I don't got no takes. I got hate rated for way less.
You know what time it is. Why you been running?
You running?
I know it went bad for you last time, but don't run, bro.
Listen, it wasn't bad. It was annoying. Like I said, I don't got a proclivity to. For
No,
BS.
I'm talking about Yu-Gi-Oh. I'm not talking about a pound.
Oh no! I haven't
went
been
bad.
Man said
grinding.
it's time to
I
dual
haven't
pull
been
up.
grinding.
Listen, I know
I
it
haven't
went
been
bad for you,
grinding.
bro, but it's okay,
It
man.
didn't
You gotta
go
run.
bad. You just got a busted deck and you play forever. I don't know. I know. Listen, if anybody's ADHD, y'all ADHD as heck, bro. I don't know how y'all do so many things at once. Man.
Don't play like
I don't know how y'all got time for this, man.
Bro,
You over
just
here
say
playing
you're scared.
Minecraft, then you playing Yu-Gi-Oh, and I'm like, how are you good at all this stuff, bro? You got too much
I'm
time.
good
You
at
like,
everything, bro.
nah, man. You got yeah, all right, cat. You at home too much. That's
I'm
what you got.
literally just good at everything. I was just made this way, bro.
I don't think you working hard enough. I feel like you slacking on something, bro.
I wish. I
Either
wish
you
I
not.
could go into detail. Bro, I work very hard, bro. I work 2 jobs, bro.
I just feel like you just got the jobs and you just got to a place where now you like, I just gotta tell people what to do.
Listen, I wish that could be my life. I wish that could.
It's like, ain't no way.
Running
Like,
your own business is hard, bro, out here in these streets, bro. Hard.
listen, I'm gonna get my Yu-Gi-Oh game up, but catch me in 365 days because I'm playing Square Enix's Triangle Strategy, and then I'm gonna be on Elden Ring with my brother.
Why y'all playing something besides Yu-Gi-Oh? What's wrong with y'all?
Because number one, my family doesn't like Yu-Gi-Oh.
Whoa, it's evil. It's dark magic.
Well, you should change your.
Not even that. It's just
What,
that
Yu-Gi-Oh?
the Egyptian gods are real gods, and my dad's like,
No,
oh,
change your family. Don't stop playing Yu-Gi-Oh.
That's reasonable.
What?
Nah, I love my people. What you mean?
I'll leave you guys
Not
on
if
that
they don't
riveting
like
conversation.
Yu-Gi-Oh.
It's
I'll
not
talk
even
to
a
you guys
religion
later.
thing. It's just my brother doesn't like Yu-Gi-Oh.
Why
He don't like Yu.
So
He don't
need
like
to get
card
a new
games.
brother.
Okay, that's oh my god, fuck me, I'm dead. I'm not dead because this loves me.